Hello. Whoa, looks like I didn't time the the end of the music to the video very well. Just kind of an updated video today. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the live stream. My name is Rob the Maritimer. That was Peanut you were watching. Falling asleep to the music, our song. Yeah, welcome. If you're new here, nice to meet you. Thanks for stopping in. And if you're returning, welcome back. So what are we going to talk about today? I've got a few things written down. I've been promising a how to live stream video for the last few weeks. It's not ready yet, but we'll talk about it a little bit today. I kind of wrote down the steps that you got to follow to do a live stream. And I'm kind of going to loosely follow those steps while making that video. But yeah, video's not made yet. But we can talk about it today. And any questions you have on how to live stream or how to make videos, or how to grow a channel, or whatever you want to know, just let me know. I'm here to share what I've learned in the last year or so of going crazy making videos on YouTube, sometimes 3 a week. Sometimes it was more than that, but for a good chunk of the last year, it was 3 videos a week. Haven't made one in a week, so the next video is going out tomorrow, and I've got that halfway, not even half edited, but I've recorded it and I've started to edit it. We can look at that a little later on today too if you want to. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. So what's new with you guys? Let me know. And where are you watching from? I'd love to know, especially if you're new here. I know where a lot of you are who are normally here in this live stream, so that's good. Let me see now. What else? Okay, so for members, just so you know, last week we had a doc party, which is a members-only live stream last Wednesday. That's going to be every second Wednesday, so there is not one tomorrow, but the following Wednesday, so next Wednesday, we'll have doc party number, I guess that'll be number 4. And that's just an opportunity to come into a live stream, ask questions, and get my answers a lot quicker than you'll be able to get them here, because there's lots of people asking questions here, and which I love. It's awesome, but it does mean it takes me a while to get to everybody. I do have to continue to get better at answering more quickly. So yeah, that said, let me just jump right into the chat and see who is here. And if you have any questions, I've got Sophia. Hello, Sophia. Longtime viewer. Welcome back. Rosanny, hello, how you doing? Good to see you. Tiff is here again. Good afternoon, Tiff. Boston Bob, hi folks. How you doing, Boston Bob? Bob. The Accidental Software Engineer is here. Ham and Eggs Gaming, good morning. Mama's Running, good morning, Mama. How you doing? Rock the Dot says hello, good morning to you. Yeah, that was our song. They might start getting mad. If they knew I was playing it so often, they might start to get mad at me. It's not really my song. I've downloaded it from Epidemic Sound, and as long as I continue to be a subscriber of Epidemic Sound, I can play that every week. Yeah, it's in a lot of my videos. It sure is our song. Hello, Jane. How you doing? Hello, Rick. How are you? Line Overland. Good evening from Sweden. Very good. So just for those who are new, I'm in Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is East Coast Canada, and it is just after 2 p.m. here in the afternoon, so 1 hour later than Eastern Standard Time, which I think is where the majority of the people who watch my videos are located, in the Eastern Time Zone. So that would be Boston, New York, Miami, Atlanta. Who else we got? So Jane is here. Hello, Jane. Hello, Alan. I finally made the leap and and my first video posts Thursday. Congrats, Alan. Way to go. Good luck with that. How do you feel about it? First videos are usually a little rough around the edges, but that's okay, because the second video just has to be a little bit better than the first, right? And so on and so on, and that's how we improve, right? Very good. Under 40 here, frag limit. That's okay. You're allowed to be here. Most people, I think, that watch my videos tend to be in their 40s or 50s or 60s. But that doesn't mean you can't learn something here. I guess the reason why I kind of target the older, when I say older, 40s and up crowd is because that's what I am. And I have a certain way of talking. I don't rush through things. I might trip over my words. I might make mistakes. That's okay. Just kind of trying to prove to everybody that you don't have to be perfect to do this. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, so that's the angle I'm going with. Sometimes if you are learning or watching videos from younger people, through no fault of their own, they tend to speak in a different, not language, but lingo, different slang. They maybe talk faster. You know, as we age, we tend to slow down a little bit. Let's just take things one step at a time, right? So anyway, that's that. I am not outside, Sophia. Well, obviously I'm not now, but that video you just saw at the beginning, I did film that about a half an hour ago. I wanted to film for 3 minutes, or 4, I guess. Ended up filming for 7 minutes, and I made a very quick video just to change the intro. Hi from Colorado, the Banjo Journey. Hello, good to see you. Spouse wife, hello. New subscriber here, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Alrighty, we've got Caroline is here. Welcome, Caroline. Good to see you again. Yogi and the Mailman. Hi, Rob. First time on your live video. I've been boosting your watch hours the last few days. Thanks for replying to a comment I had made. 64. No problem. Actually, I try to reply to all comments. Sometimes that gets tough, especially if a video starts doing really, really well. It's hard to stay on top of that, and I can easily chew up a couple days. If I have a video do really well, and I usually post them in the morning, that day and a good chunk of the next day is eaten up with me responding to messages. But I think it's important to respond to messages. I think that's a big part in connecting with your audience. So if you're trying to grow a channel, respond to your messages, respond to your comments, always. That helps. YouTube loves it, and your audience does too. If you respond to a viewer, they may respond back to you. Now, I don't typically go back and forth several times, because then I'd never be able to have the time to make other videos. And you know, sometimes if a comment is super short and it's just a thanks or something like that, YouTube does provide some very quick one-click answers that, you know, no problem. And it's pretty good. It uses AI to do it. So I'll heart it, I'll give it a thumbs up, and, you know, thanks for watching, or, you know, something like that. Or if somebody leaves a longer comment, I do read it all, and then I'll reply with a longer comment. Doesn't mean I want everybody to write me paragraphs and paragraphs now, because then I'd never get through them all. So I love it just the way it's going now. Anyways, that wasn't even a question. That's me going off on a tangent like I usually do. True Blue Review Zone, how you doing? Good to see you. Bluefin Adventures is here again. Hello. Riachiona, Puerto Rico. I already go live. You might start with no viewers, but once you get your first question, you're hooked. Very well said. Yeah, so I put a poll at the top of this video. Let me just check the results of that. So I asked, what are your thoughts on you doing live streams on your channel? And the 3 choices were: I already go live, I haven't gone live, but I want to, or I don't want to go live. So number 1 is I haven't gone live, but I want to. 65% of you. 79 votes, 80 votes now, 65%. Second place is I don't want to go live. That's 20% of you. And then 15% of you, I already go live. Congrats for going live. And what's the big deal? Like, why do I focus on that? Because I've been talking about going live more and more in my videos, in my coaching calls and stuff like that, and helping people, you know, get into that. The bottom line is it really helps boost your channel. I feel like YouTube pushes live streams more than videos even. Every week that I do this live stream here, I get 10 to 15 new subscribers just from this live stream. And so that would be people who are not normally, or who are not already subscribed. So typically new people who find me while I'm live. So how do they find me while I'm live? Well, when somebody goes to YouTube homepage, you'll see sometimes some of the options, some of the thumbnails you can click will be live streams. Not that many, 1 or 2. And what YouTube's going to do is they're going to give my live streams while I'm live impressions to people similar to the people who do watch my live streams, or similar to the people who are my subscribers. Just on the off chance, oh, you might like this. This guy's live, by the way. You want to check him out, right? So it does that. So that's just another way to help get your channel discovered, help you get discovered through YouTube, through live streams. And then once you get people in there, like Puerto Rico said here, you'll be hooked once people start showing up, asking questions and whatnot. But I'll get a little bit more into the live streams and the steps you have to take to go live in a few minutes. Hello, my musical success journey. How you doing? I am already way behind on these chats. Evening, John. Hello, Rob. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. Kay Starry. Rochelle is here. Hi, Rochelle. How you doing? Good to see you again. Terry. Hi, Rob. I'm working on configuring my 4K input capture card so I can use OBS with my iPhone and share my screen for tutorial live streams. I don't want subscriptions. Wait now. 4K input capture card so I can use OBS with my iPhone and share my screen for tutorial style. Okay, lives. I don't want subscriptions. Any suggestions on free alternative? A free alternative for the live streaming software? I think you mentioned you're using OBS. That's free. So that's what I would suggest. Or you thought, no, you have a 4K input capture card. So yeah, OBS is free. So if you can make OBS work for you, that's definitely what I would do, 100%. And yeah, you can totally do that. You can set up scenes with your screen sharing, and even overlay yourself if you're capturing yourself via camera or webcam, and put yourself in that scene as well. And 100%, that's a great way to go live. So, well, similar to this. Let me just press a button here. That's what you see when I'm sharing my screen, and I've got myself up here in. Well, I can't. How do I point at that? Right. Right here. My camera. I've cropped it in and sized it down and put it up in the corner, and I can actually click and drag this live. Like, see this? You see how I'm moving this? I can do that live. I'm assuming you can see that. You must be able to. I'll just put it back up there. But then you can create other scenes. I've got another scene here. I'm going to press a button now. That's basically my screen sharing without myself. Let's put myself back in there like that. And now let's go back to the main scene, which is this one. So yeah, 100%. OBS is free. So if you're looking for free, I would go with that one. Yogi and the Mailman are in Iowa. Very good. I've driven all the way through, or all the way through Iowa one time, 25 years ago. There were a lot of cornfields. That was for a football game in Nebraska, from Wisconsin to Nebraska. It was like a 7-hour drive. A lot of corn I drove by. I saw Des Moines as I went by, but I didn't stop in. Minnesota. Rick Lakes is in Minnesota. Very good. Chicago area. Awesome. Enterprise, Alabama. Very good. Here's a question. How much attention do you pay to TTH? Oh, good Lord. What is that? Do you start by that or do it in the end, and why, please? I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank. What is TTH? I'm not good on my acronyms. I think I got stumped on an acronym last week, too. TBH, to be honest. SMH, I only recently learned in the last couple years, is shaking my head. TTH, how much attention? I'm sorry. I don't know. You're going to have to clarify what TTH. I'm looking at the title, thumbnail, hook. Okay, there's no way I would have guessed that. Maybe that is something that people use, an acronym. But okay, title, thumbnail, hook. A lot. I pay a lot of attention to it. Title is number one, okay? Title and thumbnail together are the only thing people see when they're deciding if they're going to click to watch your video or not. Title, thumbnail. If your title and thumbnail aren't good and you don't get clicks, well then, your click-through rate will be horrible and YouTube will stop pushing your video out. So you really have to, title, thumbnail, okay? Two different things, obviously. Title is text, thumbnail is an image, which you could put text on. And if you do, try to make the text in your thumbnail different than the text in your title, okay, because the two of them work together. If you put the same text on both, that's redundant. You don't need to do that. They already see it in the title. No sense in putting that on the thumbnail, for the most part. So yeah, quite often you would just basically answer a question maybe or do this now, or I can't believe this happened, or just stuff like that on the thumbnail, and play around with it. Sometimes, quite often I hear that negative statements on a thumbnail tend to work better than positive statements. If you get people's curiosity or make people nervous or things like that, right? Get people's emotions going, right? So definitely pay lots of attention to that. And the other one, hook. Okay, yeah, no. I actually don't, I know I've used the word hook before, but I like to just refer to it as your intro, the first 30 seconds or so of your video. The term hook sounds a little bit tricky, like you're trying to trick somebody into watching everything. And I guess you kind of are, but you don't want to come across as being too, underhanded with it. So basically, those first 30 seconds are incredibly important, because once people click your thumbnail and or title to get to the video, you've only got about 5-10 seconds, right, to make an impression, and then maybe the first 30 seconds of most people's attention. And in that time, they're going to decide if they're going to keep watching or not, right? So you have to hit the ground running in those first 30 seconds. And like, what are you about to talk about? Or even better, just start talking about it, right? Instead of introducing. In this video, I'm going to go over 5 things that do this, this, and this. And the reason I'm going to do this is this. And the way I do this is, you know what I mean? That's just too much stuff. Just in this video, I'm going to talk about this. So my first point is boom, like that, right? So real quick, once you deliver the real quick intro or hook, if you'd like, after that is when I think it's a good time to introduce yourself. Or you can save your introduction until the end of the video if you want. That's fine too. Actually, that more often than not, that's what I do, usually because I just forget. I'm so focused on delivering my intro sentence or two as tightly as I can that I'll just forget. I'll then just get into the video and I'll forget to introduce myself. I know the one I recorded yesterday, I did introduce myself right after the intro hook, and I'll play that for you in a second, in a few minutes, and yeah, give you a preview of what's to come tomorrow. It'll be a video. It should shake out at less than 20 minutes. I usually aim for 15 and wind up at around 20. That's just the way it goes with me. But anyways, yeah. So do you start that or do it at the end, and why, please? So just to further the thought on the intro and having to deliver it nice and tight, most of my videos I go outside and I record either on a little hilltop down the road or walking on a trail, and I spend a lot of time trying to get the intro or hook right. And once I, deliver it in a way that I think is good and I'm able to continue on with the video, great. I'll then come home, I'll offload the video into my computer from my phone, because I record on my phone outside, and then I'll start editing it, and I'll look at the intro, I'll look at my good take, the final one, and if I still don't like it, if it's not tight enough, I'll start deleting empty space just to tighten up my sentences, get rid of any ums, ahs, or pauses. I'll just cut them out and try to make it as tight as I can. But if what I'm saying still isn't engaging enough, if I still don't love it, then what I do is I'll go deeper into the video where I'm maybe talking a little bit more excitedly, or I'm about to say something that's, earth-shattering, whatever, about to make a really good point, and I get halfway through it or whatever, and then maybe I'll stop. But what I'll do is I'll copy that, and I'll then paste it at the very beginning, and I'll add the words coming up, maybe with a little bit of music or something like that. And once that plays, hopefully, a little 15-second intro, hopefully that generates enough interest that, yeah, no, this is why I clicked on that thumbnail, as I wanted to hear more about this. The intro just confirmed that's what I'm about to hear. I want to keep watching. Okay, so then, so I spent a lot of time with that, a lot of time. And then the rest of the video, I don't edit it very much at all because it's not as important. If people, after the intro, if they want to hear more, they'll keep listening and keep hearing more. And we've got a super chat today. Thank you so much, Sean. I really appreciate that. And your super chat came with a question. Let me just here pop it up on the screen. There we go. Sean, can low light cause video audio syncing issues when recording through Ecamm? Recording with Ecamm to keep myself organized, plus 4K output. I haven't noticed that because that's not exactly the way I use Ecamm. I don't record through Ecamm. I'm using Ecamm right now to do my live streams, but I don't record my camera through Ecamm. When I'm recording my camera, I record right to the SD card in the camera. Okay, on this camera, this is a Sony camera, and it's got an SD card in it. I record there. Like if I'm making a tutorial video, I will hit record for my audio. My mic is up here. I'll press the record button on my camera, and I will start recording my screen, whether that's with Ecamm, OBS, or whatever. And so I press start on all those three things, all at different times, and then I make my video, and then I stop all three things, and then I bring them all into my editing software, and I manually sync them up. There's probably faster ways to do that, and you're alluding to one right now, like syncing issues and recording directly, like your camera directly into Ecamm. I'm sure you can do that, but it's been a while since I tried that, and I think the last time I tried that, I perhaps ran into the same thing you're talking about, maybe some syncing issues. So I just said, you know what, it's not that hard to sync everything up. The key is when you bring everything into your editing software, so audio, video, screen capture, okay, those are the three main things. Maybe another camera angle, sometimes, 2 or even 3 camera angles. You can just record on all of them and then bring them all in. Make sure you label them accordingly so you know what's what. And all of those things record audio as well. Like my screen recorder, if I'm recording in Ecamm, it's recording the audio as well, okay? My camera is recording audio, and then my mic up here is recording the best audio because that's the best mic. So since everything has audio, I can line up all the audio waveforms and then just kind of play through it to make sure there's not too much echo. And once it's all synced up, I delete the audios from everything else except for the main audio I want to keep. And then you could group everything together if you want. I don't usually because sometimes I'll do a circle mask of me. But yeah, no, then you can start editing. And you when you edit things, you cut everything, all 3 or 4 tracks or however many you have. But your question about can low light cause video audio syncing issues, I don't see how it could. Like low light, I don't know if that, I mean, I know low light is an issue with some cameras if there's like a small sensor. Like if you don't have a lot of light, then for example, phones, sometimes you'll see, like in the dark areas, you'll see noise, right? If you go outside with an iPhone and try to record as it's getting dark, you might get some noise in the blacks, in the dark colors. That's because it's a very small sensor in the camera and it doesn't handle low light situations very well. Cameras that handle low light very well would be ones with bigger sensors. This camera that I'm using here is still a crop sensor, is what it's called. It's the Sony, I said ZVE10, but it's actually the A6400. That's the ZVE10. They're both the same kind of, like one's newer than the other. They are known for being fairly good with low light, but if you went with a full frame camera that would be probably $3,000 or more, then it would be even better in low light. Okay, that's my understanding. Now, I should preface all of that by saying I'm not a photography or a camera expert. I just know enough to be dangerous, I guess. I know what I need to know. Yeah, so no, I've not noticed that being something that causes syncing issues. So I hope that helps. Let me go back into the chat here, see what other questions. Oh, John has a question. Will your how to live stream on YouTube video be using Ecamm Live? Yes, it will, but with some caveats. I'll talk about some other options, but Ecamm is what I use. So the video that I'm making, that's in development, is it's everything you need to do to go live. And one of the steps would be to choose a platform to use to go live. Ecamm Live, StreamYard, OBS, Restream. Those are the four that, well, I've never used Restream, but I've used OBS, I've used StreamYard, I've used Ecamm Live. And then you can set up scenes in them. In all of them, you can set up scenes. And then no matter which one you choose, you have to connect it to your YouTube account. Then you can go live from within the program, from within Ecamm or StreamYard, and it automatically makes you go live on the platform, on YouTube. Okay, so, but yeah, Ecamm, I'm going to show how to do it the way I do it, but not with this setup with the 3 monitors and all that. I'm going to use 2 monitors, but I'm going to explain, how to level up your live stream, how to get started with it. Like, what's the basics? What's the minimum you need to go live? And then, maybe you want to upgrade your mic. Maybe you want to upgrade your camera. Maybe you want to add another monitor. So I'll touch on all those things. The Dirt Princess in Kentucky. Awesome. Terry Stafford from Visalia, California. Welcome. Northern Virginia. We got Iowa. Hi, Roger. Here, I'm a trail runner, so it would work for me. Perfect. Cindy Ann. Hi, Rob. Hi, everyone. Having a snowy day in Manitoba. Ouch. Really? Still snowing? Looking forward to the information, Rob. Actually, the video I made yesterday, I was outside in shorts and a t-shirt. Now, I might have been pushing it a bit. I did bring my sweater and I wore it for the walk back, but it was 12 degrees Celsius. So, if I'm walking briskly, then shorts and a t-shirt is fine with me. But so what is for those of you in the States, what is 12C in F? I'm asking ChatGPT. So shorts and a t-shirt in 54 degree Fahrenheit weather is what it was yesterday. And about the same today, I think. South Africa is where Caroline is from. Awesome. Alaska, Rachel, how you doing? The Drakes from Michigan. Finland here, Alaxin, good evening. Southwest Michigan, Southwest, okay. On the way to Chicago, I suppose. I've driven through there quite a number of times. Finland, I have a question. You probably posted a little bit later on. I don't see it right here. Good morning. Pam checking in. Hello, Pam. Good morning, everybody. You don't have to answer faster. One thing I really like about you is that you answer so thoroughly. Okay, there's a vote for that. If anybody wants me to answer faster, let me know. But I can certainly take my time answering. Eastern Ontario, Canada, Doha, Qatar, or Qatar, I believe is how you say that. 8 p.m. here. Very good. I love fiddle music from Nova Scotia. Awesome. Very good. So do I. Liverpool, UK. I was going to say there's a Liverpool just down the road from here. Liverpool. There's a lot of basically towns in Nova Scotia that got their names from Great Britain. Liverpool. There's. Well, I don't know. I don't know that. Well, Liverpool's one. I don't know. Is there Shelburne, Digby, Glasgow, New Glasgow? We have New Glasgow here. There's Glasgow in Scotland. Hello, Carlos. How you doing? Good to see you. We had a chat earlier today. It's 72 where Terry is. Super Ager Sega. Hi, Rob. Here from the Hudson Valley, upstate New York. Awesome. Missouri, 58 here. Good day from Ontario. I love new yarn. Middleborough, Northeast England. Great content. Loved it from the start. Awesome. Appreciate that. Okay. Here's a question. Retiring and thriving. If someone has a channel that is old and say always been affiliate marketing based, for example, and wants to change their niche, should they rebrand it or make a new channel in your opinion? All right. So the best way to answer that is you have to think about your audience. You have to think about your ideal viewer. If If the people who are going to be interested in your new content are the exact same people who were interested in your old content, then you can do it on the same channel, and it's no problem. There's no penalty for starting a new channel. If you're going to be targeting a new audience, okay, new people with different interests, then start a new channel is what I would do, 100%. Just leave the existing channel the way it is, because you may come back to it, perhaps, and start a new channel and start it fresh, and you're just talking about that thing that, that the people that you were targeting with the new channel will be interested in, and it'll grow faster. See, the problem is if you try to resurrect an old channel and kind of change niches, if it already has an audience, if it's old, then a lot of your subscribers may not even be around anymore. They might not be on YouTube anymore. They might have different interests now, right? So an old subscriber list is usually not as, I guess, valuable as a newer one. But the bottom line is, if you come out with a new video and put it on that old channel, YouTube is going to try to find your audience for you. And the first place they're going to send that new video to, in terms of impressions and notifying people, are your existing subscribers, okay? If your existing subscribers are not interested in this new content, they're not going to click. Or if they do, they're not going to then watch very much of it, right? So that's going to mean your click-through rate and your average view duration are going to go down. So YouTube is going to think, oh, okay, this must not be a very good video. Click-through rate is lower than he used to have. Watch time is lower. We're not going to push this out to any more people because it's obviously not a very good video. All right, that's what they're going to think because they're going to measure the results from your existing subscribers. So start a new channel, clean slate. There's no new subscribers to test it against, so it becomes a little more important that you kind of help YouTube understand who your audience is, and you do that by having a keyword-rich title, making your title and thumbnail together that's something that people want to click. Put some text in the description that describes what you're talking about, and as long as you're talking clearly throughout the video, YouTube is also going to transcribe the video and kind of pull out keywords from that as well. And so they're going to have a good idea who your video is for and what it's about. So they're going to do their best to put it in front of the people they think will be interested in it. And then when you come out with video number 2, targeting the same audience, YouTube's going to take the results it got from the first one and, test this second video on those subscribers and then perhaps new people who are interested in the same things. So that's how a channel grows. So yeah, think about your audience. Always think about the audience. When you're making videos, you have to think, okay, what does the audience want to see? I've got to make videos that my audience want to see. If you want to grow, that's an important thing. The video I came out with last Thursday, that basically said in the thumbnail, don't niche down. That's because there was a lot of people that were saying, I want to make videos that I want to make. I want to make videos that I'm interested in. I don't want to have to, try to figure out what other people want to see. I just want to make videos. That's fine. That's totally fine. But don't expect your channel to grow. I mean, what is channel growth? Channel growth is when you increase the number of subscribers that want to watch your videos. That's a growing channel. If you're not making videos that other people want to see, your channel won't grow. That's YouTube 101. Make videos that other people want to see, then other people will want to see more of your videos. So that's bottom line. So I hope that helped answer your question. Alrighty, just scrolling through here, looking for more questions. Is 73 too old? No, not at all. Not at all. I've had people in here that are over 90, just starting YouTube. So, you can, old Mike is a great example. He's 81 or 82 years old. I did a live stream with him several months ago. If you want to check back after this and go through my live streams, I had an hour-long chat with old Mike. He started a channel, 6 months ago or so, and he's growing that quite well, and he's having a blast. And he's, old me living better, I think is what his channel's called. Yeah, so no, 73 is not too old. Mike has got 8 years on you. Okay. Life with Lucia and Glenn. We stream live all the time, once a week on Sundays. Perfect. Awesome. Once a week, I think, is great for live streams. I think that is great. All right. Oh, once monetized, can it be taken away if your subs drop back below 1,000, or is it for keeps? That's a good question. I believe you have to maintain the 4,000 watch hours per last 365 days, right? Because and if you're maintaining that, I don't see how your number of subscribers would drop back, right? It will probably only continue to grow if you keep adding videos to it. Okay, so, but yeah, channels can get demonetized for sure. If you stop, say for years and when I first started my channel, I posted for the first month, I posted 9 videos in my first month. This is over 4 years ago. And then I stopped for a long time. And after that first month, 9 videos, I had 6 subscribers and didn't post again for 8 months. 8 months later, I came back and looked, and I think I had close to 300 subscribers. Just organically grew without me doing anything, right? So channels should grow like that. If you get a few years away from your last video that you uploaded, then I suppose it could start to go down because people will unsubscribe periodically. But you have to activate. I don't remember the last time I went through my subscribers list and unsubscribed to channels I don't watch anymore. It's just not, maybe once every year or two I'll do that. So it's not something people actively do. But the watch hours is something that I can see that dropping back for sure if you leave your channel alone for a while. And you can get demonetized, yes. Okay. Is your YouTube channel a one-man show, or do you have help? I do have help, and her name is Peanut. So it's me and Peanut, my cat. All jokes aside, yeah, it's just me. I do this, and I'm pretty busy, but I'm having a ball. It's a full-time income too. It's my full-time thing. Before this, I was a freelance video editing for other people through Fiverr. But I've been doing this. I've been going hard at it for about a year. So, yep, a lot of fun. Arkansas, Shonda. Hello, Shonda. Good to see you. 73, and TechSmart is fantastic. I don't know what TechSmart is. Is that software? I'm not sure. Okay, we've got Northern Carolina here. North California here. What is your advice about your channel being an LLC? That's a good question. So, let me take a drink. Okay, so LLC. So, here in Canada, we call them corporations or incorporated businesses. And at the end of the company name, you would have usually LTD or Limited or Corp, something like that. We don't typically add the LLC. I think that's I don't know if it's an American thing or a UK thing. It might be everywhere else except for here. But anyways, I know what you mean. It's an incorporated business. I have one, but I only have one because I had it well before I started my YouTube channel. The only reason why you'd want to do, not the only reason, it's generally dictated by your tax situation. So you really do have to consult with your accountant or get an accountant's advice, maybe even a lawyer, to know if that's something you should do or not. Because an LLC is, in Canada anyways, and in the US, it's basically considered an entity of its own. It's like a person. That person has to pay tax if that person earned money. Okay, so an LLC would pay tax if it earns money. So the way you could have it set up if you had an LLC is the LLC would earn income from YouTube or brand deals or whatever you're doing online. The LLC earns the money, and then the LLC would pay you either a salary or you withdraw money out of your LLC to pay yourself. But that's an expense for the company. So if the company is earning revenue but then paying it out, then the company, if it's money in, money out, if it's the same, then the LLC pays no tax. Okay, but meanwhile you've taken money out of your LLC, so you've earned personal income from it, and then you have to consider, okay, well, what's my tax situation? Do I have another full-time job? Let's say you're making 6 figures with another job and you're doing this YouTube thing on the side. Well, I don't know. Now it becomes like, what's your tax rate? In Canada, if you're making that much money, you're in a fairly high tax bracket, and each additional dollar you make over top of that is going to be taxed at, I don't know what it is, 35% or something, whatever, a higher rate, right, at the top end. So, but, you know, your LLC can expense things. It can buy your computer. It can buy your Camtasia license, your cameras, your microphones, your lights, and all that stuff. So I have an LLC. Not everybody does. If you just do it personally, then that's fine. One of the advantages of an LLC, well, so for tax reasons, corporations in Canada anyways are typically taxed at a lower rate than an individual. So there's that. But then also liability concerns. Like if you're going to get sued, it would be your LLC getting sued and you would be somewhat protected, right? You might be the owner of the LLC, but it's the LLC getting sued, not right? So there's things like that. And again, it's probably different in every country. So I strongly advise you to talk to a lawyer and or accountant in your neck of the woods. So anyway, yeah, I hope that helps. That's my limited knowledge there. All right, let me keep going here. Spouse, wife, I already go live. It's fun. Awesome. It is fun. I was very nervous the first time I did it, but I got through it. Hello from Texas, Lee Ann Quave. How you doing? Good to see you. Debbie Ryan has a question. Do you need to meet qualifications to go live on YouTube? Oh, geez, I can't remember what the, I mean, you do have to, I believe you have to apply. But once you click that you want to go live, I believe you can do it probably within 24 hours. So maybe look into that before you actually, before you actually want to do it, like a couple days ahead of time, just to make sure you're all set. I believe your account has to be verified before you can go live on your account. But yeah. And the other thing is, if you go live from a computer, like from a desktop, like from a Chrome or a browser, let's say, or from, Ecamm Live or StreamYard, whatever, there is no minimum number of subscribers you need to have in your channel to do that. But for whatever reason, if you want to go live just from your phone, from the mobile app, the YouTube app, you need 50 subscribers in order to do that. So I thought that was interesting when I learned that. And I learned that several months ago. I'm assuming it's still the same. But keep that in mind. Do you find that it helps to practice with premieres before going live? I just started doing so, and it's boosting my confidence. Awesome. Awesome idea. That's great. I have never done a premiere, so I can't really speak to that. But in my mind, premieres are very similar to live streams in that, you're watching a new video you've created in real time with your audience. I've never done that. I think that's a cool way to, like if you have a new product or service that you're announcing, and you've been advertising it, like, next Tuesday, I'm going to, at 9 a.m., I'm going to drop this new fantastic thing that I'm going to offer to everybody, and I'll have a video and we'll watch it together, and I'll be there in the chat and I can answer you as we go. So that's a cool way to use YouTube premieres. But again, I've never done that. But I can tell you, when you go live, you just have to be ready with something to talk about. Okay, you want to have something ready, whether it's a presentation or a demonstration or just a couple bullet points that you want to talk, and be prepared to talk to nobody, just to the camera, because there may not be anybody show up. When I made my renewed push to make a really good go at this YouTube thing last March, so over a year ago, the first live that I did, I got 4 concurrent peak viewers during I think it was 90 minutes I was live, and I was demonstrating some kind of video editing thing, I think. And I got 4 people. So, and that's not 0, so that's good. But what I did was I announced that I was going to do that in the, I'm going to say, previous 3 or 4 videos leading up to the date that I was going live. I said, I'm going to go live. And it was like a little ad that I think I put it at the beginning of my video, like in a little intro. After my intro as to what the video is going to be talked about, when I introduce myself, I said, oh, and I'm going to start going live once a week, starting with, March 28th or whatever the date was. And I did that for several videos, trying to build interest in it. And then after I went live, then every video after that, I just said, and I go live every Tuesday. Like I would advertise that in all my videos. And then in the live stream, you can advertise your videos, right? So it's like a circle. It's right. It's like it feeds on itself, and in growing your channel. So I think it's a great strategy. Worked well for me. All right, looking for more questions here. What if your area doesn't have the bandwidth? Just do lives from better spots? Yeah. So my internet connection here in my office is not fantastic. It's cable. I have cable internet here. So what that means is we have great download speed, and I think it's 800 and some megabits per second down. But my upload speed is capped at 15 megabits per second upload. So it's not fiber. It's not a fiber connection, which would be probably 840 up and down. This is like 840 down, but only 15 up. Now that's enough for me to go live. That's fine. And it's unlimited actual data transfer. So, and I don't know if that's unique to Canada, but in Canada we have our internet plans into houses and buildings. It's the speed you're paying for. You can transfer unlimited number of gigabytes, terabytes, whatever, but the rate at which you can upload or download, that's what you pay for. Whereas on a cell phone plan or a mobile phone plan, there's a certain number of gigabytes you can use of data per month. That's the way our cell phone plans work. So, but in some areas of the world, maybe that's the way home internet connections work too. I'm not sure. But it's your speed you need. And in order to live stream at 1080p, which is what I'm doing right now through Ecamm Live, I believe I need 6 megabits per second upload room, right? So if I wanted to live stream to 2 different places at one time, like YouTube and Facebook, I would need 6 and 6, that's 12 megabits per second. That's getting pretty close to my 15 max that I can do. But I don't do that. I only upload to one place anyways. And all of that would mean, if I start running into the ceiling there, is I believe what would happen is there would start to be some buffering that some of you may notice. I'd be paused, and then the internet connection has to catch up before you know what I mean? But I haven't heard that anybody's going through that with my live streams. So there you go. But yeah, okay, just one final point on that. There was one time that I went live outside. So when I go live outside, then I'm using the cell phone towers, right? The mobile phone towers. And if I'm not in a good coverage area, then it's not going to work. But I know, like where I went live was on a beach down the coast a little bit, and 5G Plus was available, and it had a better upload speed than my house does. So I went live right from my phone on the beach. So yeah, download a speed test app to your phone if you wanted to do a live stream from outside and you're not sure if you can or not, and just run a test and see what your upload speed is in the location you want to go live. And as long as you have 10 or 15, you should be able to do it. So there you go. Take a drink now. Drink break. Rachel says, I would love to be at the point of going live, but I'm struggling with finding the courage for the first video. I've done so many takes and can't seem to find my rhythm. I get it. I'm just going to make these a little bit smaller here. Is that too small? Just moving them down a little bit. I get that. I get that. It's just practice. So maybe stick with your videos for a while until you get a little bit more comfortable with that. Practice making videos while talking to the camera is great practice for going live. And going live, incidentally, is great practice for making videos talking to the camera. I mean, both kind of the same thing. Yeah, it's just a practice thing. Just bite the bullet and do it. I can tell you this. I spent over 3 years trying to perfect my ability to talk to a camera, to go live, make sure I had all the equipment I needed, and just spinning my wheels, spending too much money on stuff that, looking back now, I didn't really need, but I thought I did at the time. And if I were to do it all over again, I wish I started 3 years earlier when I first had an interest in this, because I'd be so much further ahead than I am now. Not that I'm not having fun now, because I really enjoy doing this and I'm having fun and it's all good. And I realized those 3 years, that was my learning process. And everybody's going to go through a learning process, some longer than others. But I can almost guarantee you that everybody, now I want to be careful the way I word this, most people, I think, once they are in a groove and channels growing successfully and they're into it, most people would say, looking back at their journey, that they had wished they started sooner. I don't know of anybody who doesn't think that way. Prove me wrong, but most people say that. All right. Good morning from the Pacific Northwest, Washington State. Good morning. How you doing? Hi, Mina. How you doing? Greetings from London. Sue Spielman has a question. Do you typically have a topic for each live stream, or is it totally off the cuff? It might seem like it's always totally off the cuff, but I usually try to put some thought. It depends how busy I was in the morning. I actually had 2 coaching calls this morning, and I have 2 more this evening, and I was thinking, wow, that's going to be a busy day. I better be ready for the live stream. What am I going to talk about? So sometimes I have it very structured, what I'm going to talk about, and then other times not so much, because the reality is, with how many people I'm getting in these live streams now, I don't always get to all the points that I wanted to talk about. And I can already tell that I'm probably not going to today either. So I do think it's important to get ready, to have something written down. So I have 7 steps written down here on how to go live stream. I don't even know if you can see that. That looks like it's off. There we go. So I've got some notes here. I've talked about some of them here and there, but at some point soon, I'm just going to go through the steps. And then other times I have other things lined up that I'm going to talk about. Sometimes I'll have a demonstration. Last week I went through editing the video that I had just recorded that morning. Okay, and we did that together. I could do some of that today, but I likely won't. We did that last week, and unless somebody wants to see something of what I do, then we can. And I've already started, but yeah, so a lot of it's off the cuff, but I can tell you, it gets a lot easier once you start getting people into your live streams, because you guys are asking me questions, and all I get to do is answer them as best as I can and explain that I'm not an expert and that some of the info I give you is just experience based. And, I'll just tell you what I know and what I've learned. And hopefully that helps. So, yeah, once you have people into your live streams, it does become a lot easier. Okay. Sale Stillwater. These lives are very productive. Thanks. No problem. I enjoy doing them. The Accidental Software Engineer. I just started making videos and then reviewing them with an eye to eliminating distractions, mannerisms, etc. It is also making me much less self-conscious. Perfect. Awesome. That's great. Good for you. I have done some lives, but low sub count does not help with Q&As and live views. That's right, but it'll come. If you go live and you do like a little, so I guess further to a question that I just answered a couple questions ago, like how much do I prepare? When I first started going live, I prepared a lot more. Like I had sections written down. Intro, I'm going to talk about this. The videos that I released the last few days, the last week, I'll go over them. I'll review what I talked about, and anything, comments will come up in the videos. I'll talk about some of the comments that came up. I'll talk about the videos that I'm planning for the next week, right? The next 3 videos. anything, any new announcements that I want to make. And a demonstration. When just starting out, I would have 1 or 2 demonstrations that I was going to show. It's basically like creating a video, a tutorial how-to video, but doing it live. And keeping an eye on the live chat to see if there's any questions coming in and answer them live as I go. So, but as live streams grow and more people come to them, I have less and less time. I mean, I could just ignore all the questions and just do demonstrations, but I like the Q&A part of this, and I think a lot of you do as well. Don't want to put words in your mouth, but I've been told that a lot of people like the ability to come here and ask questions and have me answer them live. So, but yeah, until you get a lot of viewers, just answer them as they come in. And don't be afraid to ask people to ask questions. Like you can put a probing question at the top of the live chat before anybody shows up. Same thing with videos, right? You can pin a comment at the top, like ask a question. Ask people to answer you in the comments below. Ask people, like put a poll, and I put this poll in this one. You can set a poll up, right? Anything that encourages interaction with your viewers is good, because people like to be interacted with, and that's how you grow a channel, right? So, alrighty. I've been trying to go live, but can't budge from 35 to 48 subs. I need 50. So I suck so bad, taking 6 months to get legit for something so simple, I probably have no biz going live. I wouldn't. No, that's wrong attitude. You totally can. Just make a few more videos that your audience wants. Like look at your videos that you have now. Try to figure out what else your audience would like you to help them with. Make videos on those, and you'll be at 50 before you know it. So you must be talking about you want to go live on a mobile device, because if you go live on a computer indoors, you don't need 50 subscribers, right? You don't need any. You can start with 0. Are these comments on your screen within YouTube Live, or do you have to use something else to make this happen? Ecamm Live is what gives me the ability to do that. Here, I'm going to switch cameras to my phone. Okay, so this is my phone, and I just wanted to show you what I'm looking at here. So here's the live chat right there. That's basically my YouTube studio, and I see the live chats coming in here. Over here on my MacBook this is Ecamm Live. Okay, so it has the screen here that shows what you guys are seeing. It might not be real time, and it's got all the chats over here. Okay, so what I can do is I can click this. Watch can you see my cursor there? If I click this, it shows up. The message shows up. I can click it again to make it disappear. I can click the back and make that disappear. So that's how it works in Ecamm. You can't do that directly from YouTube. So that's why you guys might think, geez, I've asked my question like half an hour ago. He's not to my question yet. Well, that's because I'm going through the questions over here in Ecamm. And as you can see right here, I'm only here. There's all this left to come. But meanwhile, I try to keep an eye on this over here, right? Because these are current questions, but I don't want to lose my spot over here because I want the ability to click and display messages or questions. Okay, so that'll show you a little bit about how I do that, how that works. But Ecamm is great for that. You can also display messages in StreamYard. Okay, OBS not so much. I think there is a third-party app, or there was last year, that is okay at doing that, but I had troubles with it. It wasn't always working for me. But StreamYard and Ecamm both allow you to do this, and I think it's great. There you go. Now you know how to do that. I live stream Saturdays at 10 p.m., which is what some consider an odd time to stream. Turns out there's plenty of people that would rather spend time with me than the TV and the Netflix. Perfect. Yeah, the thing I'd say about that is, like, it's hard to nail down the perfect time for everybody because I have people watching my videos from all over the world. So how do I pick the perfect time? I'm on the East Coast of North America. Now, most of my viewers, more than half, are from the United States. So it's when it's 2 o'clock here, I know it is 10 a.m. on the West Coast, California, British Columbia. Okay, so I figure that's an okay. If I go much later than 2 here, then we're getting pretty late over in the UK and in Europe. So like 2 o'clock here, I believe you add 5 hours to that to get to the UK, so that would be 7, or maybe 8 p.m. in like France, Germany and whatnot. So, and then if I go further east, it gets up there later and later. So I feel like this is a good time for me. Unfortunately, you just can't cater to everybody. It means, like, I do have viewers in Australia too, but it means that I'm live streaming in the middle of the night for them. So that's unfortunate. I suppose if I really wanted to be helpful to everybody, I'd go live in the middle of the night too, but I haven't done that, and I don't think I'm going to plan to. Who knows? I might surprise you and go live in the middle of the night sometime. Lori's Passion from Ontario, Canada, trying to grow my channel, so I'm here to learn. Awesome. Title, thumbnail, hook. Okay, so that tells me where I am in the chat now, because we talked about that half an hour ago or more. Very active community. I love this. I love this community. This is a lot of fun. Love it. Every week. Okay. Oh, I've already talked about that. Here we go. What mic and editing program would you recommend for singing? Okay, so I'm not a singer. So hobby singer, songwriter here, and I know this may not be your purview, which it's not. Maybe someone you know might know. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, all I would suggest, probably whatever you use if you were going to plug a mic into an amp, I guess, and perform, at a club or whatever. Is probably the what I would use. The only thing I can think, if you're singing and maybe playing guitar, or an instrument, then I guess you'd probably look at 2 mics and maybe mix them so that, be aware of the mixing so that, one doesn't overpower the other. Yeah, this is really getting outside of my comfort zone. I don't really know, but if you're going live, then you obviously need a mic that will plug into your computer, right? To get your audio into your computer. Now, what kind of mic you use, I really don't know. I use a shotgun mic, but a shotgun mic would be horrible if you're beside it like this. You probably can't hear me very well now, but now you can, right? So it's directional. So I don't think that would be ideal for singing. I think one that picks up, all around is probably better, but then a mic like that's going to pick up other noise in the room too. So, yeah, good question. I don't know. If anybody is a singer out there and have a better answer than I just gave, by all means, chime in. Is it possible to do a live stream while out on a walk using straight data from a cell phone? Absolutely. Yes, as long as you don't walk into any cell phone holes where there's no coverage. That's the only thing you have to be aware of. I know for me, out on the trail here, if I go up to the area where I normally make videos, like above the walking bridge, whatnot, cell phone coverage right there, even though I can see a cell phone tower, the cell phone coverage there is horrible. So I could not live stream from there, unfortunately, because, that would be a great spot to do it. But I know if I go the other way, there's a beach a few kilometers down the coast where I get 5G plus connectivity on my phone, and I've got all kinds of room, bandwidth to live stream. I'm going to do that again soon, actually. Back out to the beach. There you go. Finally took the step to start a channel, posted my first video, got my first sub. Is there a schedule you recommend as a new channel for a busy dad working full-time and juggling a side hustle? So the proper way for me to answer that is only do what you can without burning out. That if you can post 1 video a week, that's fantastic. That's great, especially if you have a full-time job and you've got kids and all that. 1 video a week is probably good enough. If you have the time and energy to do 2 a week, then do that. It's also going to depend on how heavily you edit your videos, which is a reason why I suggest not doing that and just make videos that you don't have to edit very much, and then it becomes a whole lot faster to be able to pump out new content. So the videos I typically make when I'm outside, they're not very heavily edited. I'll cut out some mistakes here and there. I'll add some music, maybe some bloopers at the end, and that's about it. Might take me couple hours to edit that. And that, I mean, maybe I could power through it in an hour, but you know, I more often than not will take 2 or 3 hours just because sometimes I'm picky about where I want to make my cuts and all that. So yeah, if you can do 1 video a week, that's great. Some people can only do 1 every 2 weeks, right? Some people can do 3 videos a week. That's a lot. That's what I've been doing, not so much lately, but most of this year I did 3 videos a week, and that's a lot. But I did that because I wanted to kickstart my channel, and 3 videos a week and 1 live stream, and it worked, and it grew fairly quickly once I got in the groove. But yeah, if you can manage 1 video a week, that would be fantastic. Terry says, hard to ask my long-winded question. No problem, Terry. Sorry, I was asking if any free alternatives to Camtasia, what you use other than OBS. I want to do me in the circle on screen like you do. Is OBS best? Okay. Okay. Live, I'm assuming you're talking about videos and not live streaming because they're 2 different things. It's a lot easier. Well, I shouldn't say easier. You can do it. It's just 2 different ways to do it, depending on whether you're making videos or doing live streams. If you're making a video, a free version, yes, you can. I believe you can. I believe I did it before on OBS. Put yourself in a circle mask on top of a screen capture. You can do all that in OBS. Off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to tell you how to do that. I'd have to get back into some tutorials and relearn how to do it. But I know I have done it. That's just not, and that would be for live streaming or for making videos. But in terms of making videos, other software, so I use Camtasia. That's not free, obviously. But it's a multi-track editor. You basically need a multi-track editor if you make videos with 1 track being your base video or your screen capture, whatever. And then on top of that, you would put yourself, like perhaps in a circle or rectangle or whatever, down in a bottom corner, top corner, whatever. But that would be on another track. So it has to be a multi-track editor. I believe iMovie, which is free, I don't know that you can do more than 1 track with that, though. I think that's just a single track editor. So you wouldn't be able to use that. DaVinci Resolve, that's free. Takes a little longer to learn how to use, but it's quite powerful, and it has a free version which will do a lot of things. It does way more than most people need it to do. So you can look at DaVinci Resolve for making videos that way if you want. In my opinion, it's not as easy to learn as Camtasia, but it's like anything. Once you learn how to do it, you'll get much faster at doing it. So look at DaVinci Resolve. That might be your answer. Or try Restream. Yep, that's another one I've heard does a good job at that. I've not used that, but another good option. You can live stream with Restream as well. Okay. Patsro, my intention is to get those viewers who are interested in the content I am making. If the video title is misleading or creating drama, which I don't deliver, then I might get negative feedback. That makes sense. Yeah, no, your title and thumbnail need to accurately portray what content is going to be in your video, okay? Because that's why they clicked. They clicked based on what your title is and your thumbnail, and then once they get into the video, they want to see what they expected to see. So yeah, you don't want to mislead people with your title and thumbnail because people might get upset at that. People don't like their time being wasted, right? So yeah, definitely something to keep in mind. And it could result in negative feedback, that's right. But negative feedback, you can just delete it and it's fine. It's all good. I wouldn't let negative feedback worry you too much. We all get it. Okay, let us see here. Blessings and do as he says. I can't stay, but I will see it later. Do as I say. Wow. I wouldn't say it quite that harshly, but I'm offering advice. You can take it if you like. Hey, Kate, how you doing? Give Rob's live stream some love and hit the like button. Thank you, Kate. Appreciate that. Only if you like it, of course. I don't know about you guys, but when I watch a video and the first thing they do before they even get into the content is say, "Hi, my name is Rob, and please like this video and subscribe to my channel," right? I haven't said anything yet, so how do you even know if you want to subscribe? So that's a little presumptuous to say that right off the bat. So either wait a little later in the video to ask those sorts of things, or what I do is I very rarely even say that anymore, because the way I look at that is it's almost like I think of it as like a 5-year-old thing. That's what used to be the case when YouTube was new, when subscribing to YouTube channels was a new thing, right? You'd tell people to hit the subscribe button and all this stuff. But today, I think 99% of the people know if they watch a video and they liked it and they want to hear and see more from that creator, they know that they should click the subscribe button. For the most part, I think most people know that. So that's why I don't waste too much time in even saying that. But I do sometimes. If you like this and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below. There you go. Hey, Holly, how you doing? Terry, I'm stuck on 4K for TV viewers, and free Camtasia, I believe, is limited, like you said. I think OBS is my only option, but I figured I'd ask. Yeah, doing 4K if you have a lot of viewers on TV is definitely a good idea. I like that idea for sure. I make all my videos in 4K, except these live streams. These are 1080p. And like I said, I need around 6 megabits per second to be able to stream 1080p. If I was streaming 4K, I'd need 4 times that, right? And most people don't stream in 4K. 1080p is fine. 720 is honestly fine for live. 1080p looks better in my opinion, so if you can do it, do that. How do I link my how do I link my YouTube video on Instagram? Well, Instagram, let me think. So I'm not really a power Instagram user. I have an account just in case people want to contact me that way instead of through my email. But I believe what you can do is you can set up one link for your channel and look at something like Linktree, because using Linktree, you can have like several links to all of your socials, maybe a website, maybe a specific video. You can do that. So that's what I would look at. But yeah, not an expert on Instagram, I'm afraid. Oh well, I'll ask Think Media. I must have missed your question. I apologize. Sorry, but Think Media should know the answer. Whatever it is, they know. They're good. I like Think Media. I've learned a lot from them over the years. But apologies if I missed your question. I'm about halfway through all the questions, by the way, just so you guys know. Oh, yeah, okay. Thanks, Lucia and Glenn. Don't have a camera, using a webcam. That's totally fine. Webcam for live streams, totally fine. Webcam is probably a whole lot better than just well, it is a lot better than most laptops' internal cameras. A webcam would be a big step up. So, and webcams typically natively will plug right into your computer, USB A or C or whatever. So yeah, that should be totally fine. Do other royalty-free services cut your rights if you end your subscription, like Epidemic Sound? Epidemic Sound does not cut your rights. Well, so the way it works, I use Epidemic Sound, and I think they all work the same way, but I can speak specifically to Epidemic Sound. If I download music from Epidemic Sound and put the music in my videos, I'm good. That video is good forever. Even after I cancel my Epidemic Sound subscription, the video I made while I had the subscription can continue to exist with that music. Now, I've downloaded that music. Let's say a month later, I want to make another video with that same music that I downloaded already. If I still have a subscription, active subscription with Epidemic Sound, I don't have to re-download that music. I already have it. I can use it again. I'm covered. It's all good. But if in the future I cancel my Epidemic Sound subscription, I can no longer use any music that I've already downloaded. Okay, even though I've already downloaded it, I don't have the right to use it in any new videos that I make from that point on. Does that make sense? So that's the way it works with Epidemic Sound, and I think most of them work that same way, most if not all. Okay, I'm going to have to start scrolling through a little quicker. I'm just going to look for the 3 Qs now. Try to look for questions. That looks like the last half of a question, but I don't see the first half. Hey, Jason, how you doing? Okay, where are we? Questions. All right. Well, I'm going through a lot. Again, so I typically do. Oh, did I miss? No, here we go. Okay, no, here's a question. What I was going to say, I'll just pop that up there. What I was going to say is I typically, I'll start these live streams with just kind of acknowledging everybody in the live chat, but I'll get to a certain point where I start answering questions, and then knowing how much time we have left and all that, I can't acknowledge everybody from then on. That's when I start looking for the 3 Qs, and so that I try to get as many of the questions that are being asked as I can. But this one, no 3 Qs, but question, and I saw it, so I'll answer it. How do you feel about YouTube Promote? I'll have to say that I don't have an opinion on it because I've never actually, I'll preface it by saying I've never used it. Okay, I've never used it. I've never promoted any of my videos or my channel or anything except for my own self-promotion from one video to another. In one video, I'll mention a previous video I did, and I'll say, click the link above or in the description, right? Or I'll mention that I'm going to go live next week or things like that. Self-promotion within my own videos. It's the only way I've promoted my videos. I've never paid for any advertising or promotions outside of that. So knowing that, take what I'm about to tell you with a grain of salt. My thoughts on basically promoting videos is that I believe that it kind of circumvents the whole organic growth thing, and it goes against it, right? You want YouTube to be able to grow your channel organically. You want YouTube to be able to find your audience for you based on, you know, your titles, your descriptions, the content of your videos, and for that to happen organically. And the reason that is because if YouTube can find people that way, then they are true subscribers. They subscribed organically. They actively subscribed, actively wanted to watch your video. They were either searching for the same thing and you popped up or whatever, right? That's a good subscriber, good, healthy subscriber, okay? I feel like video views and subscribers you get through promotional activities are not as good because they may not be they didn't necessarily actively search you out. And so, I mean, it's even worse if you pay like a third-party service and buy subscribers or buy views. Horrible idea, because think about this. Let's say you've done that. Now you want to make another video, okay? You make another video, you put it up on YouTube. What's YouTube going to do? They're going to put it in front of your subscribers first, and they're going to measure the response. What's the click-through rate? What is the average view duration that you're getting from your subscribers, the first people who are notified of your new video, okay? If your subscribers, if the majority of your subscribers came to you through a promotion or through some other service that you paid for to get subscribers, they're probably, somebody used the term one time, synthetic subscribers. They didn't actively seek you out. They ended up subscribing to you, but they may not be as interested in your stuff as an organic subscriber would be. So therefore, your stats are going to take a hit, and they're not going to be as good as they would be if all your subscribers found you organically. And therefore, if your stats are worse, if your click-through rate is down, your average view duration is down, your engagement is down, YouTube's going to look at that and say, okay, this must not be a very good video. We're not going to push that out any further. Okay. Whereas if your numbers were all really good from organic subscribers and they love your next video more than normal, that's when YouTube will say, oh, this must be a really good video, getting lots of good engagement here, lots of views, lots of, click-through rate is high. Let's push it out to some more people like those people who are watching it. Okay, so that is my concern when it comes to promotions. Again, having said all of that, I've never done it. I've never felt the need to do it. And I'm skeptical as to how well it would work. So, having said that, I should probably, if you guys have a different experience with it, not a different experience, because I have no experience. If you had different results, if you had positive results from it, and even after you stopped, promoting your videos, did you continue the growth? And if you did, then great. I'd love to hear about it. But I haven't heard any stories like that yet. But I haven't asked either. So now I'm asking. If you've had good feedback like that, I'd love to know. Okay. That just made me laugh. Love your head, Rob. All right. Very good. Thank you. I do too. It's the only one I've got, so I've got no choice. My question is about thumbnails. Are they pictures of yourself or something you just make up in a collage, or do you need an app? So to make my thumbnails, I use Canva. So Canva, canva.com. It's a very popular online app. There's a free version that you can start with. And maybe the free version is all you ever need. But put an image in there. What I usually do is I'll take a screenshot of myself in the video that I've just made. I'll drop it into Canva, make sure, I'll start a project that's the right size, 1280 by 720 for a thumbnail. And I'll drop that in, and then I might scale it up. I might move myself over to the left or the right. I'll add text, save it, export it. There's my thumbnail. So that's what I do. So the thumbnail is, I think, my thumbnails always have me in them, my picture, because branding is important to me, and I think that's the best way to grow a channel. If you put yourself in your thumbnails and your videos, especially if you put yourself in your videos, put yourself in your thumbnails too. Because people like to connect with people more than they like to connect with graphics and images. All right, if you think of it that way, you can probably answer your own question. Sometimes you don't even need text in your thumbnail. If all the text you need is in your title, don't even bother putting text in your thumbnail. Just have it be a picture of you smiling or whatever facial expression you want to have that matches what the title is. And that's all you need. So there you go. Will you do an episode on intros and outros? I certainly can. Yeah, absolutely. If you have any specific questions, let me know. Okay, I'm looking for questions. Can you talk about transitions between edits when cutting mistakes, and especially vlogging, adding B-roll, etc.? I've seen some that are really jarring and make me back up from the screen. Any thoughts? Yes. Okay, let me share my screen. Here we go. So here's the video I shot yesterday on the hill where there's no cell phone coverage, so I can't do a live there. And here, let me just drag this side in here a little bit. There you go. Okay, so, and actually I'm just going to move myself down a little bit so you can see everything. All right, so if we scroll into the beginning here, I've just only started to edit this. You can see I have a cut right here. And I can give you an example. Let's just I'll play the beginning so you know what this video is about. If your YouTube videos aren't getting at least 500 views, say in the first 2 to 3 weeks, then this video is for you. I've got several things I want to talk to you about, and all of them are going to help you increase your views, because 500 views is not really a lot. Okay, so actually, let me play that. Okay, it might seem like a lot, and in fact, no, I should go back on that. It is a lot if you're just starting out. 500 views. Okay, I wanted you to hear that part of it too. But so, for example, I noticed a place here that I may edit this out because there is a significant space, And I just want to show you a couple tricks to hide a cut. All of them are going to help you increase your views because 500... Okay, long pause there. I might want to get rid of that. I'm only at the 13-second mark, so still in the spot where I want things to be tighter. So here's what I would do. I won't just cut this in the... Well, obviously you don't just cut it in the middle because... yeah, I have to cut it out. So you have to make 2 cuts, okay? But let me say this. The cut here, let me just make this a little bit bigger so you can see it better. Okay, this is the video portion, by the way. This is the audio portion, okay? I recorded the audio, or I processed the audio to make it sound a little bit better. I'm using Camtasia. For those of you who don't know, this is Camtasia, okay? The timeline is similar in this program as to a lot of other video editing software. You got your timeline down here. Up here you have what's called the canvas, so you can see what's going on at that time, wherever this playhead is. And then up here are all the files that you're working with. The video files, audio file, so on. Okay, so what I wanted to explain is when you make a cut here, if I want to cut this space out, I'm not as concerned about this cut at the end of what I'm saying here being right at the very end. I may want to leave some space, say, to finish my thought. Let me just play this again. To increase your views. Right there, I think. So I'm listening to it and I want to figure out where I want to start my next word or whatever, continue the sentence. So it doesn't happen right at the end, but a little bit of a space. Increase your views. Probably there, okay? So I will highlight both these. I'm going to press S for split. Okay, so that makes a cut. Now, this cut, I'm going to make right at the very, like just as I'm about to speak. Okay? Because if you don't, that's when you're going to notice the jarring effect more. And I'll show you. Like, watch. If I make the cut here and I leave some of that space, let's do that. And let's tighten this up. Let's just see what that looks like. Increase your views because 500... Did you notice that? I mean, there was some space here after I switched to the second video and I wasn't saying anything. So let me just back up. Okay. So instead of cutting it around here, I go right to the very end, right before the audio starts, and I'll cut it there. Okay, now let's delete that and tighten it up. So again, I cut very close to where the new part is beginning, but not as close on the ending part. Did I explain that well? Let's see what that sounds like. Increase your views because 500 views is not... Okay, so I think that's better. That's the way I do it. All right, now, if after you do that, you still find that it's too obvious, right? I want to hide the cut better. There's a couple things you can do. 2 things that I can think of right off the bat. Number 1 is you can cut in or cut out, okay? And that means change your scale. So if I highlight the video here, actually I'm going to make another cut over here, but I'm not going to delete anything, but just so that I'm only doing it to this part. So for this part here, I want to cut in. So with the video highlighted, not the audio, don't have to do anything to the audio, just the video, I'm going to come up to properties here and I'm going to cut in, which means change the scale. Okay, so maybe I want to change it there. I can reposition it, I suppose, like that, say. So let's see what that looks like. Views, because 500 views is not really a lot. Okay, it might seem like... What do you think of that? So that's just a way when you cut in from one to the other or cut out. So I'm cutting in here and then I'm cutting out here. That hides transitions a little bit better. I like that a whole lot better than fancy like fade transitions, right? If you go to, well, I put it up in my favorites. If you put a fade transition on that, I just don't think that looks very good. So I'll put one on each of those and you can see what that looks like. Increase your views because 500 views is not really a lot. Okay, it might seem... I just think that looks a bit janky, if that's a word. I don't love that. So I'm going to go Control Z to back that up. Views because 500 views is not really a lot. Okay, all right, I think that looks better. The other way you can hide a cut is adding B-roll. Okay, so at this point, you can grab another video, and do I even have one here? No. No, I don't. So if I did, what can I do here? What can I do? Let me zoom out here. I'm just going to grab a section at the end here. There we go. I'm going to cut that, copy the very end, and I'm going to use that as B-roll. Was it right here?
Yeah, whichever way you want to look at it. If you're new here,
no, that wasn't it. Oh, it was here.
Use because
Now paste, Control V. There's a little section that I cut out. So now that's B-roll that I've added there. So now B-roll will hide a cut.
All of them are going to help you increase your views because 500 views is not really a lot. Okay, it might seem like a.
That's B-roll to hide a cut. Okay, so another way to do it. Anyways, I hope that helped. I think I probably showed more. Actually, I'm not gonna do it yet. I'm not gonna save this though, because everything that I just did there, I'm probably not gonna keep with my final edit. So let's go back to the main camera. So hopefully that gave you some ideas as to how to make your cuts less jarring. I think the key is, as the playhead moves and you make a cut, the new piece, like the second piece, that one has to start basically as the words are, like as your mouth has already started to open to say the next word, right? Like that tight. And that's more important than if you make the ending that tight too, then that might be too quick and there's no break in the sentence, right? It depends on your sentence. Did you pause in the middle of a sentence or did you pause between sentences? If it's between sentences, you might want to leave a little bit of a pause, but leave it from the first part, not the second part. Okay. I hope that helped. In the UK, it's limited too. Okay, did not know that. Are shorts good for YouTube? I'm not a shorts expert. I have some shorts on my channel, but it's a whole different thing. Like the audience, if you're building an audience for long form video, that audience may or may not be interested in your shorts. And probably more so the other way. If you're making shorts and you're building an audience from those, they're more than likely not going to be interested in watching a 10-minute video or 5-minute video or whatever, right? Long form videos. It's just two different audiences, really. But having said that, I have made shorts just so I have them on my channel, and then that might be another way people find my long form videos, but not a lot of people come to my channel through those. Excuse me, if that makes sense, if that helps. Okay. I'm afraid to go on Facebook. I don't want family or friends to see what I am up to. Very good. I don't stream to Facebook either. In fact, I'm hardly ever on Facebook anymore. I don't love it. It's turned into kind of a toxic place. I like the fact that in YouTube, I mean, you have control over your comment section, which is great. So if people want to start getting toxic, first of all, it's usually strangers, but you can delete them and hide them and never have to worry about them. LLC is state-level tax protection status in the U.S. In California, it costs $800 per year. Oh, wow. Okay, very good. Yeah, I think depending on where you are, it's different. It's different everywhere. Does live streaming count towards watch time? Yes, it does. Yep. So, if I have 100 people that watch, my live stream for all of an hour, I'll get. That's pretty simple math. 100 hours of watch time. Okay? It absolutely counts. So that's another reason why I think live streams are fantastic, especially if you're trying to get to the monetization, the 4,000 watch hours in the last year. Not always, but more often than not, people will reach the 1,000 subscriber mark before they get to the 4,000 watch hours, and it's the watch hours they're struggling to try to get, right? So if you find yourself in that category, that boat, Live streams will help. It really helped me. Really helped. In fact, why don't I show you? I've shown people this before, but I will. Some of you are new, so let's show you again. So if you're new, you may or may not know that I have a free stats tracker that you can download from my site. From the description of all of my videos, including this live stream. In the description below, there'll be a link there to download my free stats tracker. That's what this is. You can download either a Google Sheet or copy it from Google Sheets, or download the Excel file version. And it's how I track my progress of my channel. So we can see here in January 2021, I started with 9 videos. And I got 254 views that first month, for a total of 272 because I had 18 views heading into that month. I set up with the channel in December. Well, actually, I set it up several months before. Anyways, and I got 3 new subscribers for a total of 6 that month. And then I went silent, no new videos for 8 months. But the channel, look at the new subs I was getting per month, and the total subs by October was 238. So that kept growing. Why am I showing you this? So took a lot of time off, tried to restart it again, started doing live streams in 2022. Then we moved, so I had to take my office apart, and over a year I did nothing. Tried to start there, tried to start again there, and then last February, it was really March of last year, is when I decided 1 live every week, 3 videos a week. Let's do this, and I started there. At the time, I had up to 2,900 subscribers. Well, before March was 2,800. I was getting 60 to 70 per month new subscribers. And my watch time, this is the total, but this column is just the last 12 months. That's all they count, right? You have to have 4,000 watch hours in the last 365 days, actually, and it's a rolling window. So at this point, my watch hours, 2,700, 2,750, 2,707, it was falling, okay? It had been as high as, 3,603, which was great. I was on my way, but I was not making videos, and that's when it turned and started to come down. But then here, 2,700, this is when I started up again. Let's go for this, make videos, live streams. So what am I trying to show you here? Oh, watch time. This is the column that I want you to pay attention to. Went from 285 to 324 in a month. Now, I think it's 333 watch hours per month is what you have to average for the whole year to equal 4,000. 4,000 divided by 12, whatever that is, 330 or something. Okay, so I was close here, and then boom, 800 watch hours in a month because I did 6 live streams. 1,360 watch hours. Okay, now I know it's just a matter of time. Just have to keep doing what I'm doing. 2,000 watch hours in June, and that's when I got monetized. So the total, well, actually the month before, total was 4,500. I'm there. Okay, and then I had that viral video in July that went crazy, and I got 12,000 subscribers from that. But I had been monetized before that. From the time I decided to make a good go of it in March, okay, it took me basically 4 months to get monetized from the time I decided, I had a plan ready to go. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that once you put a plan together, it can happen relatively quickly for you. Okay, let me take a break or a breath. See what else we got here. For questions, okay, LLC, we talked about that. Here's a question. Who sees your live stream as a very new YouTuber? Should you stay on a live stream if no one is watching for the practice? Yes. Have a plan before you go live. Plan to talk about something and talk about that thing. And assume nobody's going to be watching. And do it. Because when you're finished with that live stream, it'll become a video that exists on your channel under the Live tab. If you don't have a live tab yet, it's because you haven't gone live yet. And live tab, if I just go to my channel here. So here's my channel, home, videos, shorts, live. This tab right here. You won't have that until you go live. But once you do go live, you can click here. All the live streams I've ever done are all in here. Okay? You can go all the way back to the beginning. So that's where it'll exist, and you can still keep getting watch hours and views on your live streams forever, right? So yeah. Oh, but who sees your live streams is a very new YouTuber. YouTube will put, if you're new, I mean, if you're new, YouTube is going to put that in front of whoever they think you're trying to reach. So presumably you have at least one video already on your channel, maybe 2, 3, whatever. So YouTube's starting to get an idea who your ideal audience is. So your subscribers will be notified, but also they will try to put it in front of other people who may find your channel that way. Okay, so yeah, that's how that works. Okay. Question regarding moderators for lives. How important are they when getting started to stay organized, and when do you feel they are needed? I don't know much about them, but they seem helpful. So I didn't have any moderators until around 2 months ago, I think, 1 to 2 months ago. Lee, I haven't seen anything from him today. Are you here, Lee? He is my moderator, and I wouldn't say it's terribly important. Certainly not in the beginning, because all the moderator's going to do is, well, I mean, you can tell them what to do, but basically to delete messages, chat messages from people if you don't want to see if they're inappropriate messages or hateful or right stuff like that. You can have them deleted. You can also ban people from posting or like put them in a timeout, things like that. So, I mean, there were a few times I had trolls show up in my live streams and they started saying a bunch of things inappropriate. But as you know, the way I do my live streams, I'm typically around 30 minutes behind the questions. So I won't necessarily see them until 30 minutes later. Once I do, I'll say, oh, whoop, okay, yeah, no, there's some messages here. Give me a couple minutes here. I'm just going to delete these. And I kind of do it live while I'm talking through it, and I delete them, ban them, whatever. So that's the way I handled it until about a month or two ago when I asked Lee, who is a longtime supporter of the channel, I said, do you want to be a moderator? You're here on all my lives anyways. And he said, sure. So now I have somebody kind of taking care of that for me. But I don't know if he's here today. I haven't seen him. So anyways, yeah, I wouldn't say it's hugely important. But nice. It all depends on how many bad comments you get too, I suppose. Okay. Here's a question from Sophia. Can you live stream directly through YouTube software, or do you need other software? Sorry if I already asked. You can. You can live stream directly from YouTube. That's how I do it when I did it outside, just directly from the YouTube app. Now, I've never actually done that from Google Chrome, like in my office. I suppose you probably could. I don't know why not. But then, you know, you wouldn't be able to set up scenes and share your screen and all these things that the software makes so much easier, or display messages like I'm doing as well, right? It's the other software like OBS or Ecamm that lets you do those sorts of things. Will this be available for the replay? Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, under the live tab on my channel, you'll be able to watch it later on. Nadim, greetings. How you doing? Definitely wish you would have started earlier. Yeah, I think everybody feels that way. Okay, let's see. I opened my channel. Oh, something jumped here. What happened? Almost 10 years ago and stopped at 7 followers. Hey Rob, greetings to you and everyone watching. How viewing time works. Let's say a 10-minute video, live video for an hour, etc. Does YouTube calculate exactly the time spent viewed by a person? Not exactly. If you're watching it in real time, then yes. Okay? But what I've learned actually just this past week is, let's say somebody watches a 10-minute video, but they have it on double speed, so it only takes them 5 minutes to watch it. It counts as 10 minutes towards your watch time. Okay? Live streams, obviously they're live. If you watch live for 10 minutes, that counts as 10 minutes of watch time, right? So yeah, that is how that works. Should you upload another video right after you upload your first video so YouTube shows your next video to your viewers? Is that necessary? I wouldn't say it's necessary. It all depends on what your strategy is. What I do, so talking about the end screen, right? The end screen on your YouTube videos. What I typically do is I will show, my avatar and one video is what I do. Sometimes I've shown two, but when I just show one video, you can either choose what video is being shown there, or you can put a playlist if you have, playlist set up. You can have a playlist display there. But what I do is I leave it up to YouTube. I say, let YouTube choose what video this person can watch next, because YouTube, they're going to show a different video for every person depending on who's watching, and they're going to show it based on what they think they want to watch next, or what they think they should want to watch next. And I'm just confident that YouTube is going to be good at that, because it's in YouTube's best interest to have that viewer continue to watch on my channel. Okay, so they're going to show them, like if they've already seen video A, they won't recommend video A next. They'll probably recommend another video, video B. Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't worry about uploading another video right after. Just leave it up to YouTube. Just say, let YouTube. I mean, if you start with 2 videos, I suppose that makes somewhat sense, but I wouldn't necessarily worry too much about that. Where do you let people know that you are going live? So what I do is I will schedule my live stream the morning of my live stream. That's kind of the routine I've fallen into. I've experimented with a few different things in the past. Like 6 months ago, I would schedule it on a Friday for the Tuesday live stream. I don't know why I scheduled it that far in advance, but I did. And I didn't notice a difference. I think it's important to schedule it at least an hour before you go live, because then that gives YouTube some time to notify people. I know YouTube notifies people who have asked to be notified when I go live 30 minutes before I go live. Okay, sometimes I think they will notify people 60 minutes before. So yeah, give YouTube some time to notify people, and that'll increase the chances that there will be people there waiting for you when you go live. Okay? So yeah, you schedule your live streams. Alrighty. How are we doing for time? We're at 10 to 4. So I've got about, I've got about at least 10 minutes left. I want to get to this live stream stuff. First of all, can you tell me which is better, Ecamm or StreamYard? I prefer Ecamm. I have used StreamYard, but I just feel that Ecamm, I don't know, just the software is a little more slick. Ecamm is software you download to your Mac. Okay, it only works on a Mac, not PC. But it's software you have to install on your computer. All right? StreamYard is a service that you log into through your browser, and you stream up into your browser, and then they stream it to YouTube. All right? So whereas Ecamm, it streams directly to YouTube from your computer. And I just think it's slick. I like the way Ecamm works. There's lots of customizations. I feel like I don't know if it's the bit rate or whatever, but 1080p through Ecamm just looks better than 1080p through StreamYard. And it might have something to do with the bit rate that they're streaming at. You can set that in Ecamm from your computer, whereas StreamYard will do it however they do it. right? And they'll do it en masse for lots of people kind of at the same time. So that's my thoughts. I like Ecamm. What time do I post my videos? 9 a.m. I try for. Sometimes I'm late and it'll be 10 a.m. But the specific time doesn't necessarily matter. I think it's good though if you kind of fall into your own schedule and try to post around the same time every week. If you do once a week, same time, same day, only because if you start doing it the same way all the time, then the audience that you're growing will be growing based on when you were posting, and they'll get used to when you post. Okay, so I have noticed that if I change it up and I post something in the afternoon, whereas normally I had been posting in the morning, it doesn't get as many views right off the bat as if I posted in the morning. Now, there's other factors that come into that. Maybe the content wasn't as good. That's totally valid. But it's just one of those things. It's something you should test and see what works best for you. I've posted at all different times, and I've just landed at 9 a.m. and that seems to work well for me. So, okay, let me talk a little bit about live streaming. So, because I said I was going to talk about this, and some people have left, but there's still a good number of people here. So here you go. If you want to live stream, I've written down 7 steps that you have to follow to live stream. Number 1, choose your platform. Okay, so that means Ecamm Live, OBS, StreamYard, Restream, vMix is another one. That's a Windows-based software that you download to your computer. Pick one. They all have pros and cons. I personally like Ecamm, but that's only available if you use a Mac. It's not free. There's a $20 a month plan. There's a $40 a month plan, depending on what you need. I was fine with $20 a month until I decided to interview people, and I needed the Zoom integration, and that required me to upgrade to the $40 a month plan. Now, I haven't done one of those in a few weeks, but I will again. So I'm happy on that plan. StreamYard is another option. Again, OBS is the free option, right? It's a little, it's free, a little clunkier, but there's lots of videos online to walk you through how to set it up and whatnot. So there's that. That's very popular among gamers. Streamlabs OBS is another one. It's like a branded version of OBS, but I believe you have to pay for that one. So yeah, choose your platform. Once you have your platform, you then can build scenes on your platform. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to share my screen again. So this is Ecamm Live. This is my MacBook, but that's Ecamm Live. So I don't even know if you can see it, but here, see it says scenes. Okay, these are all different. So I got main, that's just me and my camera. And I can take my mouse, is this going to work here? I can take my mouse and click on, like if I click this, it's going to change my camera angle back to me. So click, there, changed it back to me. Now I'm going to click the iPhone one, back to the iPhone. There's the iPhone one. Here is my 4-minute and 33-second countdown. That's the one I just created. Back to the iPhone. All right, so these are all different scenes. And you don't have to necessarily click them here, but set them up. Set up scenes, set up overlays. Overlays would be, well, for instance, if I have main, I've got a couple overlays here. Like I can show, oh gosh, this is an older one, but if I show it, there's an overlay that I had created for something several months ago, okay? And you can link those to buttons, okay? So if I go back, if I go back to my iPhone, so all of those buttons here, you can click on those to go to those scenes, or you can map them to something like this, a Stream Deck. So I can press this, me, right here, and that takes me back to me, or press iPhone, it takes me back to the iPhone. I can play, like this is the Super Chat button I've got mapped to here. If I press that, if somebody gives me a Super Chat, I will press that button. Okay, so you can create scenes in these programs, Ecamm or even StreamYard, and then you can cycle through them. Another scene that I have here, if I just show this again, is here. It says right here, InnoView. Now that is the name of this monitor down here. That's the monitor I share. So if I click on InnoView, right, it's going to show me that. Are you seeing that? Yeah, you are. I'm confusing myself. But so the bottom line is create scenes. One scene should be just you and the camera, like that's what I'm doing now. Another scene could be share your screen. Another scene could be share your screen plus put you and the camera off to the side, like I do here. Okay, share my screen plus me and a camera. Those are all scenes. My intro is another scene. You can map all your scenes to a button on a Stream Deck. All right. And then next thing you do is, so yeah, you can use a Stream Deck to switch between scenes or toggle overlays on and off, like the images, right? Any image you want to put on the screen. Then you're going to connect your YouTube account to your software. So Ecamm Live or whatever. You can I share that screen? No, I don't have a scene set up for that. Okay, so, but I will. So, okay, so I am I'm making a video on how to do this, and it's going to be on my channel at some point in the near future. But basically, you then take your software and you need to connect that to your YouTube account. And you do that with something called a stream key, okay? I can't really show you mine because then you'd be able to hack into my live stream. But when I make a video showing that, right, I can blur stuff out in my video editing, and I show you how I do that. But then once your software is connected with your YouTube account, then what you do is over here, so you can see this screen here, this says finish now. But what it will say is, like down the bottom here, it'll say go live. Okay, and I'd be able to click that to go live. When I go live from Ecamm, and that automatically makes me go live in YouTube. And then when I'm done, I'm going to click this right here. Going to click this finish button, and it'll end the live stream. Okay, I'm not going to do that now. All right, so next step, schedule the live stream. Okay, so once you have your YouTube account connected, then you want to go into YouTube and schedule your live stream. So I can show you how I do that. So you come over to, now I'm sharing my screen, my YouTube account. So let's go to my YouTube Studio. Okay, here's YouTube Studio. I'm going to go up to Create, Go Live. If I do that, so I'm already live here. This will show me all my scheduled live streams. All right, this is the one, it's currently live. I'm live right now. That's what it's showing. But what I would do is I would click Schedule Stream right here. If I click on that, I can create a new stream, or I can choose one of my previous streams to reuse the settings of it. Okay, so I can go down here and pick one and reuse those settings and set up the schedule. So let's say the next doc party that I do right here, members only. So that'd be for next Wednesday. Let's click on that and reuse those settings. Okay, members only doc party. It'll be doc party number 4. I change the title. I'm leaving the description. So now it looks like you're setting up a video. Okay, I go all the way down. We'll leave that. I'm just going to leave the same thumbnail because I don't have anything date specific in that thumbnail. It's just generic. So I'll leave that. Click next. Monetization, I always turn my live streams off. When this live stream is over, the one we're doing right now, I will turn it on, right? Because I just don't want you to be interrupted. I don't want to be interrupted by ads so that you miss a part of what I'm saying. But if you're watching it on the replay, I'm paused for ads. So it's okay to turn monetization off. Incidentally, I often forget. When I finish this live, I should go right into my YouTube studio and turn monetization on. Sometimes it's a couple hours later because I forget. Anyways, turn that off. Done. Next. Live chat replay. Leave all that the same. You can add a trailer if you want, and I've done that in the past, but I haven't been doing it lately. Click next. This will be a members only one. Otherwise, you would click public and you schedule the date. So my next one will be the 30th of April, and it'll be 2 o'clock my time. So I'll select that and done. It's creating the stream schedule. It's been created. So close, and let's just go back to the studio. If I go to my content now and live, there we go. I'm live here. This is the one that's upcoming. Okay, upcoming, April 30th, scheduled. There you go. It's all done. Now it should show up in my. If I come back here, okay. Well, no, I'm live now, but now it'll be an option for when I go live from Ecamm Live. Okay. How is that? Is that confusing? Like, can you almost see the difficulty I'm having in figuring out the best way to make a video to explain all this? Like, really, it probably should be like a course that I create that'll walk you through all this stuff. And I thought about doing that, but no, I'm just going to make a video that'll touch on all these things. I'll try not to make it too long, yeah, once it's scheduled, you're all set to go live, and then go live. That's it. So, what'd you think? Let me know what you thought. And I'll check out the any more questions. Looking for more questions now. And incidentally, we're at 4:03, so I'm going to say I'm here for another 15 minutes or so, and I'll try to power through these questions. So if you want to hit me with some rapid fire questions, if you have any, let me know. I'm not seeing too many cues. Oh, I just missed. That jumped. How do you choose your subjects and what to cover on each video? It varies, but a lot of my ideas come from you guys. The comments that I get, the comments that you leave on my videos. As I'm answering them, every once in a while I'll think, that question's being asked a lot. I'm going to answer this in a video, right? So I get a lot of my ideas from you guys that way. Or I'll go and I'll research on YouTube. I'll check out other channels, other people, other creators that I know in my niche and see what's working for them, or just browsing YouTube. Doesn't even have to be in my niche, but maybe there's certain titles that are working well for other people. I can kind of adapt it and have it work for my content. So quite often I will figure out what my title's going to be first, or at least have a good idea what the title's going to be, and I'll go from there. I may consult with ChatGPT if I don't know what I want to talk about. Usually I know what I'm going to talk about, but if I want some more ideas, I'll ask ChatGPT, and I may get some ideas from them as well, from it. And then I will write it all down on a little card like this that I can take out with me when I go for a walk, if I'm making my video. Or if I'm going to make it here, I may write it down on a full piece of paper and tape it to my tripod, just so I have something to refer to. And then I make a video. So that's what I do. Okay. Can you use Canvas pictures or videos or graphics in your videos even if you have a free account? Yes, you can, because your free account comes with pictures, videos, and images that you can use for free. Now, I think you have to modify them in some way, like maybe combine two images into one image, download that, and then you can put that in your video. That's totally fine. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait, no, sorry, I missed one. How much are your courses? So I have two courses right now. One is the over 40 YouTube starter course, and that is $149. And the other course, sorry, the $149, that one has, I believe, 37 videos and over 7 hours of content. Not that that's an important fact, but I mean, it's a more robust course. It walks you through the entire steps that I go through or that I went through. And it's pretty much the same. But that was before I was doing walk and talk videos outside. So that was for making videos inside. So some things have changed. Well, there'd be slight modifications, I guess. So for instance, when I make a video outside, I'd take one of these cue cards with me with my notes instead of a piece of paper taped to a tripod. So, but I walk you through all that stuff in that course. And then I have a smaller course that I came out with a couple months ago on camera confidence. And that one, what is that one? I can't remember. $27, I think, is what that is. Just a mini course, 6 or 7 videos, something like that. And aside from that, I offer one-on-one coaching, Zoom calls, which actually today is a busy day. I had 2 earlier today, and I have 2 more after this live this evening. But they're a lot of fun. And there's links to all that stuff down below if you're interested. For my video channel relaunch, what is the best way to get started? I do aviation history. One of my favorite ways of getting started is to make an intro video of yourself. You want to think about who your audience is, what they can learn from you, like how can you help them? That's what you want to think about. Think of your audience, who's going to be interested in your videos, and how can you help them? Then make a video that helps them, right? That's the way I'd start. And aviation history, I don't know, like a history channel. So that doesn't sound like a channel where you can help people unless you're helping people how to study history. But if you're not making videos that help people in some way, I feel like it becomes harder to grow a channel. So if you're making videos on history, then you're going to need to find a way to make your videos stand out from others that do the same thing. So whether it's the way you present it, right? Maybe you have a unique way of doing voiceovers or presenting the information. Yeah, you have to find your like, why would people watch yours as opposed to somebody else's, right? Often what I suggest is people put themselves in their own videos. Now I guess I don't know enough about what you're doing and what your channel's about. Like if it's you presenting to a camera, then it's your personality that's going to shine through. That is going to be the differentiator for you. If it's just like I've watched documentary style videos on history where it's just a voiceover. That's really the only unique thing about it. Or maybe it's fancy graphics and stuff, but they would take forever to create. But maybe it's the voice that I like, right? I might gravitate more towards one voice than another. So you have to think about what's going to make your videos special, and double down on that, right? Kind of identify that. I'm not sure if that helped answer your question, but I hope it did in some way. Okay. Question, your thoughts on using YouTube and a podcast to promote and inform the other? I'm ready to launch my podcast twice a month. I'm not sure if I should venture into YouTube also. I think YouTube is perfect for podcasts. Because you can put your podcast in YouTube as well. There's a podcast tab. So when you do your podcast, film yourself as well, and so that you have a video podcast in addition to your regular podcast. That's what I would do. And then, yeah, you can make other videos on YouTube as well and announce, like when you're introducing yourself in your videos, maybe towards the end, in the beginning or the end, whatever, mention that you also do podcasts, right? And then in your podcast, you can mention that you do videos. It's a great way, that's another way to kind of get that old self-promotion wheel going. Podcasts, live streams, videos, right? They can all kind of be different ways to feed off of one another. And yeah, absolutely, that's what I would do. All right, I have to speed this up a little bit. In your YouTube account, should you turn history on or off? Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. I think that only records your viewing habits, what you've watched. So no, that wouldn't affect your channel's performance at all. Alrighty. I'm going through these quick now. Question, if I did a 1-hour live stream and save it to my playlist for other people to watch, will it hurt my algorithm if most only watch 10 minutes? That's an interesting question. No, I don't believe so. I mean, 10 minutes is good. If people watch 10 minutes is great. I don't even think of live streams in that way. I don't make a live stream in the hopes of getting lots more views after the fact, even though, it happens organically. I do live streams to help promote my videos and to grow my channel. And it's the videos themselves that could possibly go viral. I don't see any live stream replays going viral, right? Yeah, I more think of it as a good way to promote your channel and to grow your channel faster, is the way I would look at that. For someone who wants to get started but doesn't have a laptop or computer for editing, is there an app you'd recommend for editing long-form videos? If you have an iPhone, then just use iMovie on your phone. It comes for free, and you can edit on your phone. If you don't have that, then you can use CapCut. That's another one that you can download to iPhone or Android. CapCut is owned by the parent company that owns TikTok. So if you're at all concerned that the US might ban TikTok, if they do, they'll ban CapCut too. So keep that in mind. That happened in January for the one day TikTok was banned. Then they brought it back. So don't know where that's going to go, but keep that in mind. But CapCut is a popular choice for editing on your phone. And those are really the only two I know of for editing on a phone. Okay. Okay, QQQ. Question, what are your thoughts on uploading several videos in one day? Okay, sorry, yeah. Took you 4 posts, but you got the question out versus spacing apart. The way I look at this is you want to try to get into a routine of uploading at, intervals. Okay, if you have 4 videos made, if you want to make 4 videos a day every day, then sure, go for it and upload them all every day. But I can't imagine you're going to be able to continue that for very long. Try to figure out how often can you make a video and upload it comfortably, okay? How often per week? Can you make 2 videos a week comfortably? If that is without burning yourself out, if that's what you can do, 2 videos a week, then I'd use your 4 videos, space them out. Maybe you do 3 videos in a week, the first week, and then you've got one for the week after, right? That's kind of the way I'd look at that. But no, I wouldn't. I mean, if you're just starting your channel and you want to start with, 3 or 4 videos right in the beginning, you can do that. You can upload them all, but I probably wouldn't. I mean, I did start a new channel a few months ago, 2 months ago. I've only got 4 videos on it, and I uploaded, I think, every 4 or 5 days for 3 weeks or so to get my 4 videos. And it's been 2 months since I've uploaded anything there because I'm spending all my time here. And I should have known that's what was going to happen. Yeah, that's that other channel. I created that because I was starting to make videos that really had nothing to do with YouTube, but was more along the lines of retiring and just kind of living life in your 50s and stuff like that. Just stuff that really had nothing to do with YouTube. And so I started that other channel, Rob by the Sea, if anybody's interested. That's what it's called. But then, I've been just posting on this channel ever since, and I'm busy. So I mean, again, I haven't posted since last Wednesday, so it's going to be a week between videos this week, anyways. So it's only if I have extra content that I would put stuff on that other channel, anyways. People are paying a lot to learn what I'm teaching for free. No problem. Hey, the way I look at it is the more value I can give you guys for free, either in these live streams or in my videos, the more I'm going to grow my channel. That's the way I'm looking at it. And then some of you eventually may become paying clients, either coaching or courses or whatever. But even if that doesn't happen, growing my channel will grow my ad revenue from YouTube. So it's all good. I mean, it's a brilliant system, if you ask me. I love it. It's, I appear as though I'm working for free by making these videos and doing these live streams, but it's not really free because I'm building connections with you. We're getting to know each other. You're starting to like me. I'm starting to like you. You're watching more of my videos. You keep coming back when I post more videos. My videos are doing better and better and better every week that I do this. And ad revenue goes up and up and up. Coaching, I get more coaching calls. That's starting to increase, right? It's all, and it's like an engine, and that it's like a machine. And if I just keep like making videos, doing live streams, that's putting gas in the machine. I'm filling up my tank, my car. And as long as I keep that tank full and keep adding more stuff to it, it'll keep going places. It'll keep building and growing. So that's the way I look at it. That's the way you have to look at it. You can't look at, I've been doing this for years. Well, only 1 year seriously, but still, even in the last year, I haven't been making a full-time income. I only started doing that within the last several months. Okay, there were many months where I was not getting a return, or I wasn't getting, like, you can't equate it to, well, if I worked in an auto factory, I'd make $50 an hour, right? You don't start YouTube making $50 an hour, right? You might work for hundreds of hours before you make your first $50. That's the way it starts. So eventually, hopefully you're making that $50 an hour or even more, and it just keeps growing. But you got to put it in a lot of legwork in the beginning first. So anyways, I think it's a brilliant system. Do you experience lag between audio and video? No, but if I do, I fix it in editing. I fix it in the editing. So that's it's an easy fix in the editing. You have your audio track and your video track, and you can move them side like this until it matches up perfectly. You can move frame by frame even to fix that. Okay. Please summarize the 7 steps for live streams. Okay, here you go. You ready? I should have created a graphic so it was all on screen, but I didn't. Number 1, choose your platform. Number 2, build your scenes. Number 3, add overlays. Okay, like pop-up text, sound effects, graphics. I think I might have skipped that one. Add overlays if you want to. Number 4, optional, but you can add a stream deck and map certain functions like scene switching, overlay pop-ups. You can map those to the stream deck. That's number 4, optional. If you don't have a stream deck, you can just use your mouse and click the right button. Okay, 4. Number 5, connect it to your YouTube account with your stream key, which you'll get from your YouTube account. Number 6, schedule the live stream. And number 7, go live. That's it. Those are the 7 steps that I wrote down this morning in preparation for this live stream. Alrighty. Oh, Adventure With Me went live last week for the first time. Congrats. Way to go. Gail, I went live once, but my internet is pretty terrible and I didn't think it worked well. Oh, that's too bad. Try it again. Question, what if I can't find enough others in my niche? I found only people with a rat traveling and the dude with I took a duck to, but that's his small channel compared. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. What if I can't find enough others in my niche? Then maybe you can start your niche. You can be the best video maker in your niche, then perhaps. You can look outside your niche for title ideas, if that's what you're referring to. Title ideas, video ideas. Look outside your niche. Thing I find works the best is just think of your audience. Think of your viewers. I'm thinking of you guys. Based on the questions you're asking me, I get a good feel for what it is you need help with. I take that away and I can come up, like after this live stream, I could probably write down 10 different ideas for videos I probably should make because I think you would be interested in them, right? So that's the best way I think to go about it. Do I ever use a teleprompter? Yes, but not very often. I will today or tomorrow though, because my next video, I want to put a sponsored ad in it from someone sponsoring the video. And when I do that, I write a script and I read it, but I want to be looking at the camera. So I just use this little guy, this little teleprompter here. It just hangs off the end of my lens. Like if I put it on like that, okay, and then I can read. I'll lay my iPhone right here and that'll have the script scrolling. I use an app called Prompt Smart. And it scrolls the script as I speak the script, which is very handy. And that teleprompter is called the DesView, D-E-S-V-I-E-W, DesView T3 is what that's called. And that's the only time I use it now. In the past, if you go back and look at my videos from a year ago, you will notice that I'm a little bit more rigid and my intros and outros, I'm using a teleprompter in those videos. But from this past July onwards, I'm not using a teleprompter unless I'm delivering something that I need to get it right, like a sponsored ad or even an ad like when I created Creators Cove or when I come out with a course that I'm going to sell. I'll write a script and I'll use a teleprompter for that. But it's really hard to read from a teleprompter and have it come across as natural. That takes practice. So I try not to when but sometimes I do. Okay. How are we doing? Okay, 5 minutes. I'm adding to my QQQ. Would it be smart to work with Google Trends instead of YouTube Trends in my studio, or maybe both for finding the right title to another video? Sure, yeah, absolutely. Use Google Trends. No problem at all. Mini Mighty M. I've gone live on other platforms, but not YouTube yet. Go for it. Go for it. You've got experience then. You can do it. Okay. Yeah, I do have some subscribers on the other channel as well. Let's see here. Yeah, it's just for those who are interested. I feel like I can do this now. I usually tell people not to promote from one channel to another because you want the organic growth. But this is the other channel. You can see the view is similar to where I normally record. It's Rob by the Sea. It's 356 subscribers. It's not bad for a couple months. And I've got 4 videos there, and they're all pretty much on retirement. The earlier you retire, the longer you live. Stay motivated to exercise after 50. That video didn't do very well. Just about exercising and getting out for a run and walk and stuff like that. But anyway, if you're interested, that's the other channel. How can I have a 2-camera shoot? I want to show tutorials, but what can you recommend to get off the ground using 2 cameras? Well, for starters, you need 2 cameras. So 2 cameras, and if you can record into those cameras, like if they both have either an SD card or if it's a phone that has internal storage, just record to them right? If they're both recording audio, then they should be fairly easy to sync in your video editing afterwards. Okay, so you'd sync them both up, and then you would basically decide which one you want to display when. And whichever is on top is what's going to display. So usually the one on bottom, you would leave that full, and the one on top, just cut it out whenever you want the bottom one to show through. Does that make sense? I have had made videos on how to do that. Multi-camera editing. If you want to search through that on my channel, actually, well, I can just show you here. If I go camera, let's do camera. See if that, oh no, I'm in the wrong. I want to go to videos, search, camera. If I go down, here we go, multi-camera editing. Okay, that video right there. And then my face is, so look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things. 5 things in the timeline. Oh, excuse me. Okay, sneeze. So yeah, check out this video. That'll give you an idea. Even if you're not using Camtasia, this video will help you understand how you can do that, how you can edit multiple camera angles together. Your lovely Dell laptop can't run DaVinci Resolve or even OBS. Do you know what the minimum requirements are for running these? I don't off the top of my head, but I know DaVinci Resolve. Video editing in general requires a little more powerful computer than your basic computer. Like a Chromebook will not do it. Okay, even a MacBook Air might struggle, except for the new M chip ones. They might be okay, but a good video editing computer is basically a gaming computer. Okay, gaming. If you get a computer that's good for gaming, it's going to be good for video editing. All right, so typically a good amount of RAM, like 32 gigs of RAM, is a good place to start. If you have 16, I have 32 in the Mac, which actually is like more than 32 in a PC. But anyways, and then the processor speed. The faster your processor, then the faster your computer will be able to render your videos, which means create the videos after you've edited them together. Yeah, so the computer I use is an M1 MacBook Pro, M1 Max chip. Okay, so it's 4 years old, 2021 model, 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte hard drive, but you don't need that much if you can edit off of a hard drive. Where'd that hard drive go? You can edit off something like this, and I made a video on how to do that, or not how to do that, but how to transfer files from your phone to this. An SSD drive you can edit off of if you don't have enough hard drive space in your computer. But yeah, you do need an editing computer to run things like DaVinci Resolve. OBS, though, that shouldn't need that much to run. OBS. I didn't think, anyways. Yeah, so anyways, I hope that helps. I don't know what kind of computer you have right now. But yeah, unfortunately, video editing needs gaming computers for the most part, or they'll be very, very slow. You mentioned to not post on Facebook, etc. in a previous video, even if it is a page devoted to your same content. Yeah, that's what I suggest. Until you have enough subscribers that you're getting organic growth. If you're getting organic growth, then it doesn't matter. You can tell people and whatnot. But if you're just starting a new channel out, don't advertise it anywhere. Don't tell friends. Don't even create a Facebook page that is, it's just, that, because you want YouTube to find the audience on their own, because when they do, they learn who your audience should be, and then they could have better results at trying to find even more people, right? You want YouTube to find the people and learn who your people are, your ideal audience. Okay. Does it help using the same tags on each video to help algorithms stay on my niche when having different topics of retired life? Tags don't, once you get going, tags don't do a whole lot anymore. More important when you're just starting out, I guess, and if YouTube doesn't know at all who you're trying to reach. And I still put tags in, but I put no thought into it at all. I I asked ChatGPT, based on the titles that we've gone over, and I'm going with this title and this text on my thumbnail, this is what my video is about. Can you give me a list of tags? And I just go copy, paste. That's all I do. Yeah, I don't put much because I don't think they're that important anymore. YouTube is transcribing your video anyways. They know what text is in your video. So just let them do their thing. What do you think about using links like Buy Me a Coffee, especially for Canadian YouTubers? I think that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a great way for people to give you a tip, right? It's similar to super chats, which you can do through YouTube, or super thanks, but you can't do those until you have 500 subscribers, I believe, is what it is. And you would keep a greater percentage through Buy Me a Coffee. It's just that people have to go off of the YouTube site to give you that tip, but that's not a big deal. A lot of people use it. I think it's great. It's a way to get monetized before you're monetized. Yeah, the best is when people find you outside the box. Okay. On average, how long should a video be? Only as long as it has to be to deliver your message. That's kind of a cop-out answer, but yeah, if you've got stuff you want to say in a video and you can say it quickly within 5 minutes, don't stretch that out to 10 minutes, right? Say it in 5 minutes. Say it in 4 if you can. So make it as quick as you can. People don't like their time being wasted, right? They'll notice if you're trying to stretch a video out just for the sake of stretching a video out. I have successful videos that are only 4 minutes long. I also have successful videos that are over 30 minutes long. So that doesn't really matter. What matters is the content you're delivering. Are you delivering good value for every minute of that video? If you can make a video that is just jam-packed full of good stuff and you've shrunk it down as small as you can, that's what you want to do. That's perfect. Oh yeah, I noticed this too, Terry. Don't use Bluetooth headsets or ear pods when editing. Too much latency. I've noticed that. I've used my AirPods trying to edit, and yeah, it's out of sync. The audio is out of sync. Hard to do. I just use my monitors, my speakers. Okay, I am just about... Now I have 357 subs. Let me refresh that. 358. 2 of you have subbed. Awesome. Okay. Question, is it true that after you're monetized, a video has to be at least 8 minutes for ads? No. Actually, I answered this earlier today on a coaching call. Okay, let me explain this 8-minute thing. 2 types of ads. Oh, there's probably more than 2, but I'm going to talk about 2 types of ads. Pre-roll and mid-roll. Okay? Pre-roll ads are the ads that play at the beginning, before your video plays. Mid-roll are ads that play in the middle. Your video stops so that an ad can play, and after the ad, the video will keep going again. And sometimes you can skip that and whatnot. How did you word that question again? No. Every video can have ads. Pre-roll ads. Every video. 2-minute video can have a pre-roll ad. All right? Only videos 8 minutes or longer can have mid-roll ads. That's the thing. But I don't let that stop me from making shorter videos. If I make a video that's 7.5 minutes long, I'm totally fine with that. If I look at my analytics, I'm going to say 95% of the revenue that I get from ads is from the pre-roll ads anyways, not the mid-roll, I think. I'll have to look at that. But the way I look at it is if I make a 9-minute video so that it can have a mid-roll ad, if on average only 30% are watching all the video, most of the people aren't even getting to the mid-roll ad, right? But everybody is getting the first ad. So that's kind of the way I look at that. I don't worry too much about mid-roll ads. And you can also set where your mid-roll ads occur, where they're placed. I don't even get into that. There's a setting you can just say, no, YouTube, you take care of that. You just put those mid-roll ads wherever you think you should. I trust you to get it right. And the thing is, YouTube, again, it's in their best interest. YouTube is going to want to make as much money as they can. The more money they can make, the more money I will make, because the creator makes 55%. They get 55% of the ad revenue YouTube collects from these ads. All right, so they're going to do their best to maximize their revenue by placing these mid-roll ads wherever. I trust that they're going to do the best that they can to maximize their revenue. That will maximize mine. So I don't even worry about where to put them. I never have. Okay. Oh, no. Question, I just restarted my channel after a long hiatus, started in 2014, but only used it a short time before abandoning it. Does that affect how fast you can grow? I just started posting 2 videos a week. It might if you have any amount of subscribers there. If you have subscribers from that channel that have been with that channel, well, for a long time, they may not be active anymore, which means whenever you post a new video to that channel, they may not get very good results, right? Click-through rate, average watch time, and that kind of stuff. The number, those results might be low. And the other thing is you'd want to make sure that the audience you're trying to reach has to be the same as the people you were trying to reach back in 2014. If it is the same, then you could technically just keep going on that channel. But if not, just start a new channel. There's no penalty for starting a new channel. In fact, it might even be better, starting from a clean slate, and you could grow, real fast with a new channel. So yeah, those are the things to think about. Posting 2 videos a week, though, that's great. That's awesome. That's a nice amount. That was my other question. How do you avoid audio feedback when you've got someone else on screen with you from another location? So the way I do it is, so you often see people wearing headphones, okay, when they're either doing a Zoom call or a live. I don't. And the reason I can get away with that is because the mic that I use is a shotgun mic, and it's only picking up audio like in this narrow path. Okay, it's pointed at me. Doesn't pick up audio very well out here at all. So it's not picking up the audio from my speakers, which is, it would be you guys if you're on a Zoom call with me. It wouldn't pick that up. That said, I do make sure that the audio of those speakers is turned down a bit, just high enough that I can hear it, but I know it's not getting into the microphone. Therefore, you're not going to get feedback, and I'm not going to get feedback. So that's how I have. But if you have a different kind of mic, if you have a mic that's picking up all over the room, you're going to want to put headphones in and turn off your speakers and only listen through your headphones. So that's how that works. Do you have a gas mask or an oxygen mask? If you do, put it on. No idea what you're talking about. I do not, though. Jared Goff. Okay. Lions fan? Maybe? Should you put keywords in your channel settings? Sure. Can't hurt. It can't hurt, especially in the beginning. Tags, channel description, that kind of stuff. You can set that in your settings for your channel, especially in the beginning. That it can't hurt and might help. So yeah, I would do that for sure. For sure. Guess what, guys? That's it. I made it to the end. I know I missed questions. I'm sorry. I apologize. Another quick little plug for joining my channel. If you ever want to come to one of these lives and have your questions answered quicker, I do a members only live stream every second Wednesday. The next one will be in 8 days because I did one last week. Yeah, that's for members. I think we had 20 to 25 people last week, so I'm able to answer much more quickly. It's a little more of an intimate group. I usually bring an alcoholic beverage in and put my bucket hat on, and it's just a good time. And I love doing these lives. A lot of fun. So yeah, that's that. What's coming up? So hopefully a video tomorrow morning. I got to finish editing that and do the ad for the new sponsor for that one. So look forward to that, and don't skip the sponsor's ad. Watch it. other than that, yeah, get off my butt and do that live stream video at some point. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. If anybody is ever interested in coaching, that's a one-on-one Zoom call with me for an hour or 50 minutes. I make myself available for those. There's a link in the description below. I have a free stats tracker, link below. Join the Over 40 Creators Cove community. It's free. Lots of people helping each other out, answering questions, link below. What else? There's a success guide. You can download that for free, link below. That's it. I think that's all I got today. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you next week, same time. All right, take care. Bye.